John, I got a disclaimer this week.
Disclaimer.
I got a disclaim.
Disclaimer alert, everybody.
Everybody watch out. Back up. I got a disclaimer.
Quiet up. Stop whatever you're doing and listen to Jeff right now.
That's right.
He's got a disclaimer.
I'm on a lot of cold medicine. That's my disclaimer. I got one of those stupid summer colds, and it was like, God damn it. In fact, I feel bad because last week Michael and I recorded a video, and I feel like I was really negative on it, and then afterwards I realized it's like, oh, I'm ill. It's not that I didn't just sleep enough. I'm actually sick. So I've slept for like 20 hours and I got a lot of Dayquil in my system, and hopefully that's enough to get through the RageSelect podcast right here on RageSelect. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Hey, John, welcome back.
Hi.
To a very strange podcast.
Yeah. Disclaimer over, by the way.
Yes, disclaimer done. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got the world's most inconsequential Nintendo Direct to talk about. Indie Direct, I guess.
Yeah, Indie.
As well as a bunch of other stuff that happened. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. But before we get into that, John, what have you been up to? You play anything good? You watch anything good? You been doing anything good?
Let's see. Playing. I mostly been playing. Still playing Firebreakers.
Firebreak.
Firebreak.
Have they changed? Have they done any updates to that?
Not yet. The big update comes at the end of September.
Okay.
But I have unlocked all of the cosmetics, and I am one achievement away from 100%ing achieving it.
You're like Michael with the Avengers game, where it's like, oh, you're the one that's playing PC Firebreak.
Yeah, no. There's a few of us. I get a little annoyed at people playing it because people don't understand how to play the game. And
you'd think that at this point, the only people left would be professionals at it, right?
You'd think. But then again, sometimes I play a game and I'm the stupid one. Like, literally, I'll be with two other people, and they're just like fucking flying through everything, and I'll be like, "Wait, what are we doing? What's going on?" And like they're having to cover my ass because I'm fucking up. So I can't hold it against people entirely.
Fair enough.
But I'm playing that still. Well, what else was I playing? I feel like I was playing something else. In addition to that,
I started up Avowed last night.
Avowed, okay.
I could not get it to run on my PC worth a damn, but I started up on the Series X, and I was like, I need to give this one a shot because I never did. They've done a bunch of updates since it came out, but yeah, I can't
think of what the hell else I've been playing.
You been watching anything good? See anything people might want?
I watched all of season 1 of the Twisted Metal series. I haven't watched any of season 2 yet because since it started,
I've heard like surprisingly decent as a thing.
It is surprisingly heartfelt and good.
Okay.
Like it is. What's funny is like you're gonna watch the first season if you're a huge Twisted Metal fan, because everyone out there's huge Twisted Metal and you love the lore and the everything. Right. Think of the first season as a prequel.
Okay.
To Twisted Metal. Like, it's a build-up to get you to understand the world that you're in and to get to kind of understand some of these characters. Sweet Tooth is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Played by 2 actors. The body is Samoa Joe, wrestler.
Will Arnett is
Will Arnett is the voice.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Yeah.
Like, they're literally kill at every scene that they're in.
Okay.
And they have the actual Sweet Tooth origin. Like, he was a theater kid growing up, got popular, got a TV show, then was outstaged by a dog, ended up going crazy, killed the dog, ended up in an insane asylum.
You know more about this than I do.
I
was never that far into Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I played Twisted Metal. Amanda's a huge Twisted Metal fan.
Okay.
So like it's interesting how like at first I was like, wow, this is kind of just doing its own thing and not being Twisted Metal at all. And then like as it's going and you're starting to see more of the Twisted Metal stuff pop up and kind of get involved, you're like, oh, and then by the end of the season it's like, oh, I know what's going on here. That's the car he actually drives in this, and oh, that's this, and oh, this character is doing this thing now, which is what they do in the game. And then when they announced the season 2 is Calypso's tournament.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, that's the actual story of Twisted Metal. We're getting into it now.
You guys know so much more about Twisted Metal than I do. I'm just like, oh, there's a clown and you blow up cars, and that's about all I know.
Anthony Mackie is fucking charismatic and great. Everything he does is great.
Okay.
The actress who I can't think of her name that plays Quiet, female main character, she's what's her name on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, Stephanie Beatriz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stephanie. She's great.
Yeah.
Like, she does really good at going from sad because her character's brother gets killed early in the series, and then rage of wanting revenge to kind of silly mouthing off like joke jokey.
Is she doing the Rosa thing? Is she doing the kind of mono, like the kind of dry, like kind of monotone?
Kind of not as Rosa, but like she's a little bit more lighthearted than that. But it's there's definitely, it's not her normal voice, because her normal voice is very high pitched and squeaky,
right?
Which is always weird when I see her in interviews.
It really is.
But yeah, so I caught up on season 1, which literally the episodes are 30 minutes apiece.
Sure.
You can catch up super quick, like in a weekend.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's only, as of this recording, there's only 4 or 5 episodes of the new season.
Okay.
Which I haven't started yet. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think of what all have I watched. Or, I saw Superman a while back. I saw Fantastic Four a while back, but I'm sure you've already had many conversations with people about those.
I'll tell you what, I watched a couple movies last week. I watched one movie that is very highly regarded that I thought was okay, and I watched one movie that was very lowly regarded that I thought was okay. So I kind of got both ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
Which one would you like to hear about?
You surprised me.
Okay. I watched, what was that movie? What's it called? Together? The Alison Brie thing.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I don't like. You probably,
was this the high regarded one, or is this
a highly regarded one?
Okay.
Yeah, good scores and everything. I have to ask you, because I'm sure that you've run into this before. I've run into this a few times with horror movies, where like you watch a trailer for a horror movie and you're like, oh, that's an interesting premise in the trailer, and then when you watch the movie, it's like 80% of the movie is setting up the premise, explaining the premise before anything actually ever happens.
Yeah.
Then it's like, I already know what this is about because of the trailer. And so it turns out that actually that concept is only like the last 20 minutes of the movie, and you're like, oh, guys. And let's be clear here, I just didn't like either one of the characters. Like, I kind of didn't like either one of them, so I didn't have, it was a very like a relationship, personal story, and because I didn't really like either one of them, it was like, I don't care, I don't know, do whatever, don't do whatever, like fucking, I don't know, live your life. And so I was tired of, I don't like it when I have to come on the show and be like, it was fine, but I just didn't really care for it. So I actually went and I watched Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix.
Okay. I actually have heard good things about that.
I mean, the thing is that I think that when you press play on a movie with Adam Sandler in it, you got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You're not hitting...
Especially with the sequel to Happy Gilmore.
Right. This is not a Criterion Collection movie. This is not an A24 movie. This is not an Alex Garland movie. This is fucking Adam Sandler. I really enjoyed it. It is what it says on the tin. It is a sequel to Happy Gilmore. He is old and he's busted up and he's got to go back to the game. They've got a million cameos from either like people that were in the first movie, or in some cases like the sons and daughters of people that were in the first movie. Adam Sandler actually makes a really good dad figure at this point. Like, he's
one
older...
of the kids in the movie is played by pro wrestler MJF.
Oh, okay. Both of his actual daughters are also in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Like, one plays his daughter, and one plays a girl at his like rehab that he goes to. Whole thing smattered with cameos of people from the first movie, like fucking Ben Stiller's in there. Like, there's a lot of that stuff. It was fine. Like, it was fine. It was just fan service if you like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like Happy Gilmore, don't watch this movie. If you do like Happy Gilmore and you're like, I'm hungover, I need to kill 90 minutes and I want to watch a Adam Sandler thing, it's probably one of the better things that I've seen him in. But then I'm a guy who watched Hubie Halloween and was like, that was a dumb Adam Sandler movie. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, it's just a dumbass Adam Sandler movie. Like, is it good? No. Is it an Adam Sandler movie? Yes. Like, I don't know. I guess I got that shtick back in the 90s and 2000s where I'm like, there's good movies, there's bad movies, and there's Adam Sandler movies.
I usually, if I see Adam Sandler on there, my brain gets turned off, and I'm like, all right, I'm prepared for whatever this stupid is.
Yep.
And then I watch, what is it, Uncut Gems, and I'm like, oh, this is not that kind of movie.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, that's like the one-offs.
I came into this movie with the wrong mindset.
And then, like, I haven't watched, there's stuff like Jack and Jill and, like, the grown-ups movies. I never watched any of those.
No, I never watched any of those.
Because I wasn't such a Sandler head that I had to go in and be like, I gotta watch everything this fucking guy does. But you know what? He obviously did this movie for a paycheck or for whatever, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, and it's very much in the same tone as the original.
Yeah.
So, if you got Netflix and you got 90 minutes and you don't really give a shit, like, It's fine. It's fine for what it is. It's not great. It's not terrible. I got to tell you, I was more engaged with it than I was with the stupid Together movie, because I was like, Adam Sandler is this kind of drunk golf playing dad, and I was like, I kind of like this character more than I liked either like Dave Franco and what's her face in Together. So yeah.
Yeah, about the only other thing that's what I've watched is a really old black and white movie called Arsenic and Lace.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
It is now my new favorite, like, black and white movie. Like, fucking, it's great. Like, I had never seen it before.
Yep.
I saw some guy on TikTok talking about it, like just one scene, like one brief scene, and I was like, oh, well, I kind of, that's interesting. I want to watch this, and you know, and I ended up, Amanda bought the DVD of it because it was on sale for like $12. Like, after I said I wanted to watch it and we couldn't find it streaming anywhere. Yeah. So she bought it and we watched it, and I was like, I love this movie and how stupid it is.
There's a bunch of stuff from back in the old days where it's like there's a lot of crap.
I'm surprised that they got away with a lot of stuff that's in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also it takes place in like one room, which is also amazing. It's one of those movies that you watch and you're like, oh, they've always made movies like this. This is not like, this feels like something that would have been made much later,
right?
But it's just as silly and stupid. And I would love to see.
Is that boy? I'm just talking on my ass here, so I might be completely incorrect. But like, as I understand it, there was a time when movies were made, and then it's like, then you got the Hays Code, and suddenly it's like, because it used to be that anybody could just make a movie. You could make a movie about whatever the fuck you wanted to. You could make a movie about other stuff.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until the Hays Code came in that you started getting this like clamp down on like morality, is like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. And so there's some stuff from way back that's actually really subversive.
Yeah.
Because anybody could just do what the fuck ever they felt like.
Yeah. It's directed by Frank Capra. Capra, yeah, Capra. I don't know why I said Capra. Which
you were thinking of the CAPTCHA. You had to choose all the buses in the movie.
Yeah, Frank Capra, which threw me off because, like, you know, when I think about movies that he's made, like, oh god. Well, it doesn't matter. But all the movies that he has made, it's crazy when you think about it.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, like literally,
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
That was my first thing. Was like, you know, It's a Wonderful Life. It's like, it's not. It's, you know, it is of that quality.
Yeah, Mr. Deeds, the original Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, but you know, starring Cary Grant. Cary Grant. Oh my God, he is amazing in this movie, because there are moments where he's not saying anything, but you're just looking at his face and his character running through what's going on in the film. And like, you are following along just based on his facial expressions.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, you just don't see that very often anymore.
Yep. It was a TV movie. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the other movie.
Yeah.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
I highly recommend everyone go see it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Actually, it says it was directed by Robert Shearer. I don't know. Maybe this is the wrong. Maybe this is the wrong
know there was another one.
Oh, okay.
So this may be a different one.
Okay. 1962?
Yeah.
69. Anyway. Arsenic and Old Lace is great. Oh, yeah. It's 1944.
Yeah, 1944.
Man. Dang. Sakes alive. Yeah, that's everybody should go watch it. There's a lot of that stuff. Like, I remember going back a few podcasts back, I watched like A Streetcar Named Desire, and there was like these three big, like, kind of playwrights, the best playwrights in the United States. Then there's another one that I kept forgetting about. But yeah, there's a bunch of old good stuff back in there. You just got to be willing to kind of crawl through. That's what the internet's good for, right?
Yeah,
is being like, which old black and white movies should I watch? Not like which of these schlocky bullshit ones. But yeah. Well, with that in mind, speaking of schlocky bullshit, we did get a Nintendo Indie Direct.
Yes.
We're going to go over this really fast.
Very fast.
This was okay, so last week we got the Partner Direct, and it was just mostly either stuff that I didn't really care all that much about, or stuff that we already knew existed. I'll be honest, I had to look at it twice. This is all stuff that we already know about.
Yeah.
These are all games that we've already seen in the past, and it's mostly just like announcing them for the Switch and the Switch 2.
Yeah, or in the case of the first thing that they showed off, a demo being available for like 2 weeks.
Right. So we're going to run through here pretty quick because most of this stuff is stuff we already know about. We started off with Mina the Hollower. Gotta say, this particular trailer, I think that, like, I don't know. I think that it's just maybe been a while since I've seen a full-on Mina the Hollower trailer. I'm just really excited for this game.
Oh, yeah. I kickstarted this game. So
Yeah.
I'm getting, once the game comes out, I'm getting a code to be able to play the game. So
Yeah.
I am excited.
Did you play Shovel Knight? Were you a big Shovel Knight guy?
Yeah, I like
Did you play
Shovel
all of them?
I didn't beat it, but I played. Yeah, I had them all on my Switch. And
Okay.
I played all of them and had a lot of fun with them. Unfortunately, they're the type of games I'm not ever able to beat.
Yeah.
I probably could if I actually sat down and tried, but I move on.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really looking forward to Mina the Hollower, and a demo is available now, and I think it's like only available for 2 weeks, and then it goes away. Which I think you said there's already a demo on Steam.
There was a Steam demo.
Yeah.
That was like one of those time limited ones for like the Summer Game Fest or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went to go look for it because I was like, oh, I never played that. I wonder if I should play it. I mean, like, Shovel Knight was so fucking good. I'm just going to play this. Like, I don't need to be cajoled into playing me the
Yeah, they did say that the demo is the first level and up to the first boss. Like, you play the first boss and your
progress.
Your progress carries over into the main game if you buy it.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know. Like, we were talking about this before we started, but this game comes out on Halloween,
October, yeah,
and like that's not so far away that I feel like I even need to get into.
I already know I'm going to play this game like crazy. So,
actually, you know what? I take it back because the second thing here was this game called Well Dweller, and I don't know if I'd ever seen this before. It's from the Crypt Custodian developers, and it's like kind of a side-scrolling thing where you play as like a little crow that's in like a Metroidvania world, but it's got really nice kind of like hand-painted 2D art. To be honest, there's so many games out there that kind of have this same vibe that I was originally kind of writing it off, and then as I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, actually, I think this looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
like, this
it
looks
looks pretty cool. Like, I think when I first started watching the trailer for this, I thought it was like I kept confusing it with like 2 or 3 other games that were already out.
Yeah,
and then like once I actually like paid attention and watched, I was like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Also, the bird looks cute.
Yeah, and then
the crow guy looks cute as hell.
And then the world has this kind of like, some of it's a little generic, but some of it has this real kind of like weirdo, creepy monster vibes, like this big boss lady at the end. It looks nice. It looks like something I would like to try out. Whether I would actually complete it, I don't know. I've been waffling around since I beat Abiotic Factor. I've been kind of trying to figure out what I want to play next, and like I reinstalled that Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, and then the new Ninja Gaiden game was out, and I was like, maybe I want to play this, and I was like, it's fucking hard. So I don't know. I have a real real high bar with Metroidvanias where I'm like, you gotta get me hooked in the first like 20 minutes. Like, I'm not going to give you too much time. So anyway, Well Dweller looks pretty cool. From there, we got a new trailer for Neverway, which is coming out in 2026 on the Switch. This is that one that's like a farming kind of life simulator, but then in between it's got like these kind of horrifying nightmare sections.
Yeah.
All the art's being done by the artist from Celeste.
All the music is done by the guy who did Fez, which is...
Oh, yeah.
The music for Fez.
Oh, okay.
Not the guy who created Fez.
It's like
the
Phil
music.
Fish?
No, not Phil Fish.
Oh, no, tell me it's not Phil Fish.
No. Not all the music is done by the it's the same composer.
Okay.
And that soundtrack's fucking great.
Yeah.
So...
everything I've seen about this, like, I think when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting concept. And the more trailers I see, the more I'm like, I'm really interested in this.
And Celeste is a really good game, so you know that this is going to be fun and entertaining as well.
Well, and then it's just the artist from Celeste, which is good because I think the Celeste has very good art, but I don't want to play it because it's just a pure platformer, and that's not my shtick. But, yep, looks really good. Again, something we already know about, but it's a good trailer. Coming out 2026. Yeah, good stuff. Hurdling was the next thing on the list. I've seen this a few times. I don't know why this would be fun. I keep trying to figure out why I'm not interested in this, and I think it's because the only experience that I have with hurting things in a video game is in Red Dead Redemption 1 as a chore I didn't want to do. So like this game is kind of having to overcome the hurdle of the only time I've played this activity in a video game.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it. And so they're like, yeah, herd a bunch of these weird moose thingies, these moose mammoths back to their homeland. I'm like, is that fun? Is that something I want to do? I don't know. Have you seen this before?
I have, because I follow Panic, the publisher.
Okay.
Panic is the same company that does the Playdate and what is it? The Untitled Goose Game and the recent one you and Amanda played. It was a fly. You play as a fly.
Time Flies.
Yeah, Time Flies.
Yeah.
They published that, and then also like Thank God You're Here or whatever the hell it was called.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Thank goodness you're here.
Uh-huh.
Like they publish a lot of little weird titles. So I because I'm aware of them and I'm on their newsletter.
Right.
I get notified of these games. So this is nothing new. Seeing this is nothing new for me.
Yeah. But does it do anything for you?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm missing here. I guess I'm expecting every video game to be for me.
It looks like it could be fun. Like it could be cool. It's just I doesn't look like something that I would play.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out whether it's like, because most of even these trailers for it, it mostly seems to be like you're wandering behind a herd of buffalo, making them go in one direction. And I'm like, is that fun? Is that something that I want to do? I don't know. So I don't know. August 26th, I guess. August 21st is when this is coming out. I guess we'll see. I'm still very confused though about it. But that could just that could just be me. That could be my. My biases.
Yeah.
Is this seat taken? Is something we've heard of before.
Yeah, and I know Amanda's really looking forward to this game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Is a game where you have to basically take these little geometric shape guys and put them in different locations, and each one of them has like a different preference. Like somebody wants to be near another one, or somebody wants to be by themselves.
Or they don't want to be next to someone who does some specific thing, and then there's only like 2 seats, and this person who doesn't want to be, who does the specific thing, doesn't want to be around anyone else except for the person that wants to be by them. So how do you? It's just it's like a little puzzle game where you're just kind of placing down these little markers to just kind of figure out like where everybody wants to go. I think I saw one trailer for this maybe back at like. It was like maybe one of the Summer Games Fest. And it was like, it seems interesting. I think it was on like the Wholesome Games Direct.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. Seems pretty decent. I didn't know that it was out.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah.
That's right.
This was like, and it's out today.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure out a place to maybe put it on the schedule because I want to find out if it's any good or not. It seems like it could be really fun, or it could be one that I'm just like, it's a little fiddly. So, cute though, very nice.
Yeah,
like art and graphics and everything. Very simple. I want to play it on the PC though, instead of the thing. Anyway, Little Kitty Big City is getting an update,
a free update.
Yep, a big free update. The picture perfect update that adds in some new like patterns and customization options.
So yeah, you can now customize what your kitty looks like.
Yep.
It opens up some new areas, and then there's some extended
photo mode.
Yeah, they add some new stuff with the photo mode, and then they added some new story beats, so you can go visit like other characters.
Yeah. Did you play this?
Yes, I beat it.
Oh, okay.
It was a good game.
It seemed very, very charming, and then I never got back to it. I kind of got distracted, but it
was it's not very long.
Yeah. I think the big thing is just that, like, if anybody is unfamiliar, they straight up nail, man, the facial expressions and the movement on this cat is so good. Like, it's so charming. So
I think it came out when there was a bit of a lull between games that I wanted to play, and it was like I downloaded it because it was on Game Pass,
right?
And I was just like, all right, I'll play it, and it just I happened to beat it during that time because there was nothing else to play.
Yeah,
and it's a very fun game.
And this is a free update. It's coming out later this year. So not out right now, but coming out later this year. Let's see. After that, we got the announcement of content warning.
On the Switch.
So Switch 1 and Switch 2 is getting content warning. The online multiplayer, like, horror YouTuber weird four-person co-op thing. I don't know. I had a pretty good time every time I played one of these with like the crew.
Yeah.
But I can never see myself being like, I'm gonna play the shit out of this. I'm gonna keep playing every weekend. Me and my buddies, we're gonna play. Content warning.
Well, it's so this. What's funny is because of the plot of the game. This is very much one of those types of games where if you're a content streamer and you play games with your friends, like you have to have content to stream on a regular basis.
Right.
This is a good one that multiple people can play because it's not as graphics intensive.
Yeah.
So you get like, you and like, 3 other of your streamer friends, and you just play it for a day or whatever, just streaming it.
I can see it being really fun to play on the Switch, like especially maybe like local co-op.
Yeah.
Like instead of online. But yeah, Switch 1 and Switch 2 coming in 2026. Sure. I'm glad that these types of games, these kind of weird non-action 4-player co-op games are making like, they seem to be doing well, like this and Peak and Repo and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, not much more to say. Go watch my video. Go watch RageSelect videos for content warning. We got another trailer for Ball Pit. This is the thing from the Devolver Digital showcase this year. It's kind of a take on like Pong, but also Vampire Survivors, but also there's like a city building element to it. I don't know. I think there was a demo for it that I didn't play, but I'm having a hard time visualizing just what this game is, even when I watch it. So there's a good question of like, I don't know, is it fun? But this is just kind of reiterating that it's coming out October 15th for the Switch 1 and later this fall for the Switch 2. So I don't know. Any thoughts on Ball Pit?
Nah, it looks fine.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, Ultimate Sheep Raccoon.
Oh yeah, this is like a sequel to Chicken Horse, right? Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yes. I think it's got more players. You could build tracks and
this is except instead of like a platformer, this one's a racer.
Was the other one a platform? I don't know.
The other one was a platformer.
Oh, okay. So this is more like a trials type of thing. I don't know. I never played the first one, and so not a lot of experience with this one.
Ultimate Chicken Horse, I think you can only have up to 4 players.
Okay.
So having up to 8 players is pretty crazy.
And then being able to make your own courses and stuff.
Well, that's actually the purpose of the game, is that each person gets an item that you can put between you and the goal. Oh. And the part of it is you're supposed to create something that makes it so that the other person can't get to the goal and then you can get to the goal.
Okay.
That's what Ultimate Chicken Horse was. Okay. So Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, whatever the hell this is, it looks like a kind of the similar thing, except you're making a track to get to,
Okay, so instead of a running and jumping, it's a driving and flipping and that kind of thing. Okay, that makes sense.
It's fun.
And then let's see. Did we have? Then we had Glaciered. It's funny. I don't think I'd heard about this before, but it had been announced.
Yeah.
So this is like 65 million years after everybody went extinct, the Earth is just like completely covered in ice, and you play as this kind of little mutant in the oceans underneath, and you're kind of going around and you're trying to survive and fighting and exploring and doing stuff. I don't know. This one was kind of interesting to me because there's some like some kind of weird like dino combat stuff and
you're a bird descended from dinosaurs.
Yeah, you're like a bird with like icicle wing amphibian.
Well, it's like everything's underwater because you're under the ice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Like, I'll be honest, it's not like blowing my socks off, but as something that I hadn't seen before, maybe I'm just getting a little bit. Maybe I'm getting a little bit excited about something that I didn't already know was coming out. Where it's just like, oh, I haven't seen this one before. But yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty good. It looks kind of decent coming this holiday season.
Yeah,
I don't know. And then I think we wrapped up with the like montage again of mostly stuff that I think that we've already seen before. So it started with Winter Burrow, which is this survival game where you play as a little mouse in the wintertime. I hadn't heard of this one, the Undusted Letters from the Past, which is a kind of like a it's kind of a unpacking meets power wash simulator where you're cleaning off like stuff, and then that leads to narrative parts. Like I actually downloaded the demo on Steam for this, and it's like, you're using these little brushes and stuff to wipe off like little things, and each thing has a story.
Okay.
So there's that. Tiny Bookshop. It's been a while since I've heard that, where you're setting up a really small little like library. Caves of Quad or Quad. I don't know. It's like a pixel-based roguelike thing. I haven't looked at this one. I know it's been out for a little while, but Strange Antiquities, which is the sequel to, I think this is a game that Tessa and I played a long time ago. Opus Prism Peak, like narrative thing with kind of anime influences. I was interested in this just because it had very good art design last time I saw it. Go-Go Town, which is
it looks kind of like an Animal Crossing kind of.
Yeah, some kind of cozy
Sims game.
Buildy, surviving thing. And then UFO 50.
Which the fact that UFO 50 was not already on a Switch is crazy to me.
Yeah. And not just that, but it came out the same day as the Direct. So I never got back into UFO 50. Did you ever?
I never played it.
Yeah.
But I know what it is.
The fact that it's got like 50 full on video games, I'm like, I don't have time for one video game right now, let alone 50.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And that was it. That was the Nintendo Indie Direct. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what there is to say, because most of that was just like
stuff we already knew about and have talked about in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that it's kind of like last week, where I'm sure that it's somewhat exciting to people that own a Switch and a Switch 2. Like the fact that UFO 50, like if you didn't have a PC to play that on, knowing that it was on the Switch, like that's a good get,
Definitely.
But a lot of this stuff, it's like, it doesn't mean much to me because I already have the platforms to be able to play it on. So,
yeah. And I don't have a Switch at the moment, so.
Oh, yeah?
I don't have a Switch 2.
Oh, you Switch 1 though, right?
Yeah, but, just saying, I don't play my Switch 1 all that much.
Well, maybe get UFO 50. There you go. Get 50 whole games. So yeah, I don't know. That was it was a little bit of well, you know what? We've got a few more minutes before we take a break. So we've got some Nintendo news here. Maybe we can finish up with that.
Yeah.
So in the continuing saga of the United States and its tariff policy, we finally got some like an actual full-on. There are going to be tariffs. They are going to be on Vietnam. Nintendo moved a lot of their manufacturing from China to Vietnam in order to attempt to evade Chinese tariffs, which they thought were incoming, and then put themselves squarely in the sights of Vietnamese tariffs, which we are doing for some stupid reason.
Yes.
What does this mean? Well, it means that last week Nintendo announced that the prices of pretty much the price of everything except for the Switch 2 is going up. So rather than raising the price of the Switch 2, which I can understand because they need an install base for the Switch 2,
yes.
right? Like if the Switch 2 doesn't sell well quickly, you don't have a big install base. You can't get developers to work on it.
Yeah.
Games that require that don't work. So
Not that they don't already have a huge install base.
Correct. But so they're basically increasing the cost of the Switch 1 as well as pretty much everything else. So let's see. The Switch, which was $300, is now $340. Switch OLED, which was $350, is going to $400. Switch Lite is going from $200 to $230. And then also the Alarmo is going up to $110.
No.
Switch 1 Joy-Cons are going up to $90, which I think they were $70 before.
Yeah.
For a pair. Yeah, and that's I don't that was all that I got the news on, but that's what happens when you jack around with import policy. I mean, like, this stuff is so hard when it starts to affect the video games, where it's like, generally speaking, RageSelect, I don't generally wade into the world of politics, but it's like, I just keep asking myself, but why? But why? Like, why? Why is my Switch more expensive? It's not like there's a United States console that's really good that nobody will buy because those darn Nintendo people keep selling us their cheap Japanese consoles we got to tariff them to make sure that everybody buys American consoles. I guess the Xbox Series X, but I'm pretty sure that's
also manufactured
overseas. So
overseas.
It's not like there's a plant in the heart of fucking Michigan. Crank it out. Those good American Series X's. Like, I don't know.
And you can't even say like, oh, buy an American computer. No, those all those parts, those circuit boards, the graphics cards, the processors, all of that is made overseas.
So $340 for a base Switch, $450 for a Switch 2.
Yeah,
that's I mean, like, I get it. I understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like those units.
I'm not angry at Nintendo for this. I'm angry at other people for this.
Yes. Still, yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and I hate it, and it sucks, and I hate it. So I don't really know what else to say. Like, you know, it sucks, and I hate it. Maybe that's what we need to do, John. Maybe you and I, like, we got
start a revolution. We got flip table.
No, I was gonna say we got a little spare time. We'll move to Michigan, open up a good old fashioned American console manufacturing plant. That's all done in the heartland of
your own.
The United States of America. We're gonna make it with 100% American corn and elbow grease and Ford trucks. That's gonna be.
You don't make circuit boards with corn.
Not with that attitude. You don't. This is America. God damn it.
You need at least a potato.
Well, we got plenty of potatoes. We could do that. Let's see. We got some other Nintendo stories here. So you said you didn't blame Nintendo, but you can blame Nintendo for this one. Apparently, Nintendo. This is a bit of a weird story, but there's a speedrunning community called RTA in Japan that does speedrunning events. And they recently released their summer 2025 lineup, and people noticed that there were no Nintendo games in that in the lineup, which is weird because Super Mario 64 is like a big speedrunner thing. Apparently, RTA, the organization, they became like a legal entity. They became a nonprofit in Japan. And when this happened, Nintendo apparently got in touch with them and was like, now that you are a legal entity, you must license the games that you want. If it's a Nintendo game and it's in your stream, you must get an official license from us in order to do that. This all came right before this started, so they basically were like, well, we have to just drop all Nintendo games from this event, and then we'll have to see what that is. I don't know. I'm really at odds with this. Like, on the one hand, I don't know, speedrunning competitions are like, there's not like prize money or anything, is there? Like, I don't know if I can understand it for tournaments maybe, but like if there's prize money involved, maybe. I guess the question that I would have is like, when Nintendo says that you need to get licensing rights to have Super Mario 64 in your speedrunning competition, does that mean they want money? Or does that mean you have to submit a form saying, we would like to speedrun Mario 64, and Nintendo says, yes, this is above board, clunk, clunk, stamps.
I'm sure it's a case-by-case basis. I'm sure it's a thing of, oh, well, you know, it's all for charity. No one's actually profiting off of this except for in all proceeds of whatever this is goes to the charity of the choice of the person who wins or whatever. Then, yeah, Nintendo, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Nintendo will probably be like, all right, cool, fill out these forms and you know, let's make sure it's all done above board.
Sure.
But I'm sure if it's we're a private company and we take fees to be able to participate in these competitions,
right,
and we get all that money,
right.
Well, Nintendo's going to Nintendo and be like, well, you need to give us some fucking money.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it reminds me of, it was like 2 years ago when they had the like Smash Brothers. They started like kind of cracking down on like Smash Brothers being in fighting game tournaments. There's kind of the idea that like once a lot of these things start out as a grassroots, you know, it's just like a fun, like there was a thing, the game competition that I went to a few years back. Michael participated in at a bar that was like a local podcaster that put on this thing, right? It's like, okay, this is no big deal. Nobody's gonna come down on you for this. But some of these things, like once they've been going on for long enough, they have a high enough profile, they're known in the community, they're making money off of it. I can kind of see at that point, it's like, well, now you're a you've graduated into being a grown up, so now you've got to do the grown up shit. We're filling out the forms, paying the fees, etc., etc.
Well, it's funny because we have a local gaming convention here in Austin called Classic Game Fest, which is basically just celebrate of retro games and all that stuff. Started by a store called Game Over Video Games.
Right.
Classic Game Fest was originally a summer thing that they did, where at the main store they would set up a giant projector and people would do a tournament over some classic game, whether it be Smash Brothers, GoldenEye, whatever, just some type of competition game.
Yeah.
And then the winner would get like a gift card to the store and, whatever. Like that's nothing big. But then it got so, because they did it every year during the summer,
right,
it got so big that they decided to turn it into a convention.
Yeah.
And the second they did that, like that stopped being the focus of those like tournaments, stopped being like they still have them, but they're not the focus of those events anymore.
It's like you gotta make that money to rent out the place. You got to do the merch tables. You got to do the passes.
And it's also, I wonder if if they were like, okay, we're gonna do this, and I'm sure if like someone from Nintendo saw it, would be like, hey,
yeah. I don't know. I'm a little torn because I've seen it happen where the side thing that's just a haha for fun becomes then big enough that it starts to need its own professional organization status. And it's like once you've graduated from haha fun, it's like, I go to this ramen place every week. The guy started by he made it in his garage.
Yeah.
People go to his house and they buy it out of his garage, right? Well, when you open up a storefront, well, then it's like you got to get licensed by the city. You've got to have the health inspector come out. You've got to get a permit for selling food and stuff like that. There is a thing where once you graduate up to a certain level, you have to start filling out the forms. So, but also on the other hand, I don't know. Part of me is like, God damn it, Nintendo, just fucking leave it alone. And you know what? Let's finish up with this last story. So, Nintendo, in the Switch 2 coming out, they made the move to the virtual game cards, right?
Yes.
Everything got switched over to like when you buy a game on the Nintendo store, it creates a virtual card on your system that goes into your virtual Switch, and you're able to play it. You can loan them out to your family members and take them back. I always maintained that this was because for the first time in history, Nintendo was going to have people that had two consoles that could technically run the same game on the same account, and they wanted it. They didn't want you to do that. If you wanted to play Animal Crossing and you bought it digitally, they wanted you to buy a second goddamn copy if you're going to play it on the Switch and the Switch 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
But Nintendo has come out and they've sent out this Nintendo of America. They launched a survey with people, to basically anyone can take the survey, asking about kind of how people feel about these virtual cards. And the survey apparently goes through a lot of stuff. There's like, in general, when it comes to a Switch system, do you prefer purchasing games in physical format or digital format? Like, it's asking like if you prefer buying games in a physical format, why? Like, is it for games preservation? Do you like the things that come in the box, right? Like, because they have those game cards that are just downloads that don't actually have the game on them. They're asking about, like, if you buy digital games, why do you buy them, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that, this is one point where I would like to tell people that, like, Nintendo is asking for your opinion on this. If you have a strong opinion, you should participate in this, as opposed to just like grumble being mad about it online.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any strong
Get your
feelings?
voice heard in the proper place and don't just bitch about it online.
Yes. I assume, you're pretty physical media oriented.
Weirdly enough, when it comes to video games, I feel like I should be physical games oriented, but I'm actually
not.
I tend to go more digital than physical when it comes to video games.
Okay.
Like movies, I want the physical, like always want the physical.
Interesting.
But that's mainly because when it comes to movies, not every streaming place is going to have every movie.
Sure.
So like if I want to make sure I can watch it, I need to have it physically.
Yeah.
Retro games, obviously, I am very like have the physical, like obviously classic NES, whatever you want the physical. I'm not a big ROMs guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, like typically I tend to buy most of my modern games digitally instead of physically.
I feel like it's at least for right now that like we haven't seen the widespread, like when you get the streaming platforms, they rotate stuff in and out so often.
Yeah.
But like if I buy a digital copy of Armored Core on my PS5, I can always download it and play it
until they shut down the store.
Until
and
Sony
servers.
shuts down. Yes.
Yeah.
At which point, I don't know.
Because there are games on my PS4 that I can't get anymore.
Yeah.
If I wanted to. Well, I'm sure like if I connected, because while the store's closed on the PS3, PS4, whatever you want to,
I think the PS3 store is closed. Pretty sure the PS4 one is
not
still
4.
open.
I meant 3. But yeah, like there's stuff I probably couldn't get. Like I know, like for example, there's some stuff that on Xbox, for example, because I can talk about that because I'm more familiar with it.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff that was available on the original Xbox has since over time been made available on all the consoles now to be able to purchase digitally and download. But there was a time where I couldn't play OG Xbox games unless I physically had the game, and and there's still some Xbox 360 games. It's a very small number of them that I can't play unless I had it downloaded on my Xbox 360.
I tell you the one that irritates me. I've been trying for years, John, to play Burnout 3 Takedown. And Burnout 3 Takedown was technically on the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And is playable on the Xbox 360. However, there was some goofiness on the 360 where it's like, you have to have a Microsoft brand hard drive or something in order to play original Xbox games on the 360,
weird.
like certain ones. And so the fact is I have Burnout 3 Takedown in my library, but I can't install it on my Series X, even though, or on my 360. Like I still have a functional 360, but I can install it, but I can't launch it because you have to have an original Xbox hard drive that has some kind of dumbass firmware to allow you to launch that ROM, even though the 360 is completely backwards compatible with that game. And I'm like, why? Because it's also a PS2 game, and I cannot, for the life of me, emulate. It doesn't emulate, and I'm just like, I just want to play Burnout 3 Takedown, man. I just want to legal. I will give you what money I have. I don't want to play Burnout Paradise. I want to play Burnout 3 Takedown with the F ups and the lazy generation on the load screen. So. Okay, well, now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got a lot more news left to cover, so stick around, and we'll see you in just a minute. And we're back! And that means that it's time to get into the news. We don't have a lot of news. We don't have a lot of news, but we do have the continuing saga of adult video games being taken off of websites. So this week we got a response from MasterCard about this. So for anybody who hasn't been keeping track of this, basically 2 or 3 weeks ago, Steam delisted a whole bunch of adult games.
Not just Steam,
but Steam
also
delisted
itch.io.
a whole bunch of games. They seem to be mostly focused on games that had icky kind of assault stuff and incest. Itch.io delisted all of their NSFW content. After that, there was a tweet from this Australian mom group called Collective Shout that claimed responsibility, that was like, we did it. Steam's update,
the children are safe.
Right. Steam's update had Steam's update talked about this being a problem with the payment processor. So this had been the fault of the payment processors.
Yes.
Okay, so we got Steam took down payment processors. Collective Shout says, we are the ones who did this. We contacted the payment processors and the MasterCard Visa. Last week, people started spam calling MasterCard and Visa, being like, I would like to buy a hentai game, and I cannot. It says that the reason is because of you. What gives? Like, just incessantly calling the payment processors over and over again to register their displeasure. Well, this week, MasterCard came out and basically said, it isn't us. They said it's not us. It is the actual payment processors. So, like, I am not 100% on this, but as I understand it, you've got, like, the consumer outlet, the payment processor, and then MasterCard. So there's like there's a go-between there.
So I think it's the company Stripe.
Okay. So
or is one of them.
MasterCard comes out and says, this was not us. Okay, let's just say, quote, MasterCard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity on game creator sites and platforms, contrary to media reports and allegations. Our payment network follows standards based on the rule of law. Put simply, we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure MasterCard cards cannot be used for unlawful purchases, including illegal adult content. Now, Steam and itch.io have been very upfront about being like, we do not allow illegal adult content on our site. Like, if it is against the law, it is not okay to be put on our website. So we're not sure what the fuck gives. So they kind of passed the buck on to the payment processors. So then somebody got in touch with the payment processors. And the thing is that the payment processors said, no, the reason that we won't process these is because of Rule 5.12.7 of MasterCard. Rule 5.12.7 of MasterCard says, quote, a merchant must not submit to its acquirer and a customer must not submit to the interchange system any transaction that is illegal or in the sole discretion of the corporation, may damage the goodwill of the corporation or reflect negatively on the marks. Which is so vague, ambiguous as to be useless. Like, this means that it's like they can basically say, we've decided that being able to buy a game where you have sex with a sheep is going to reflect poorly on the MasterCard brand, and so it is not allowed.
Yeah.
Horseshit. Fucking horsecock.
No, that's not allowed either.
That's not allowed. Yes, that's not allowed either. Yeah, the problem with a lot of this stuff. So, let's see. Here's a more of that rule. Quote, the sale of a purchase or the sale of a product or service, including an image which is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value, such as, by way of example and not limitation, images of non-consensual sexual behavior, sexual exploitation of a minor, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part, and bestiality, or any other material that the corporation deems unacceptable to sell in connection with a mark. So, here's the problem, John. I was reading this, and I'd like to just put this forward as an example, okay?
Go for it.
One of the examples given in this particular rule says, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part. Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1 contains non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part.
Yes.
Like, so the thing is that if we're going to go down this road, that means that, like, technically speaking, payment processors, whenever they feel like it, can be like, we don't think you guys should be able to purchase Mortal Kombat 1 for any fucking reason. Like, and that could end up having that game be delisted. Like, I don't know. What's another incredibly
Grand Theft Auto
violent video game? Grand Theft Auto is a good thing.
Because there actually have been like that. The next stage is they're going to try to, now that they've gotten to block the nudie games or whatever, that the next stage is they're going to try to get to block.
Yeah, there's a question as to whether or not this is like. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know, but I've seen some rumblings that this is like, this is part of a grander plan to basically just be like, we think you should not be allowed to play the video games. We'll decide what video games you are allowed to play and what games you are not allowed to play. Now, I'm not sure where this is coming from. I've heard some inklings. I really don't want to go down this road too much. I've heard some inklings, though, that is part of the current United States government, like, wanting to clamp down on what people can do, because there have been a few other, let's be honest, if anybody's reading the news, there's been other things about, like, attitudes inside of this government that want to tell you what you can and cannot fucking do. And I don't know if that's true or not. I have not looked into it. But in spite of that, no matter who it is, it should be incredibly concerning to everyone. Like, that we're heading down this road again, and that we're heading down this road for real. Because we've been down this road. I've been down this road at least twice. I don't know about you. Like,
twice, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, whatever.
Like, in smaller.
Jack Thompson.
Yeah, we got Jack Thompson as the obvious stuff, but you go back to the you go back to the Nintendo code of like
Yeah.
what could be in your games, what couldn't be in your
I
games.
mean, hell, Mortal Kombat was the poster child for the stuff with Night Trap and those other FMV games.
Yep. I remember when Mass Effect 1 came out, I remember there being the Jack Thompson on Fox News talking about how there's boobs in that game. There's titties in Mass Effect, and it's going to make our children sex fiend monsters, right? Like,
and then also, everything against GTA.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. It is going to be interesting to see how this goes. I wonder if there is enough. I wonder if gamers can keep focused long enough to withstand an extended campaign of no, I'm an adult and I want blood and guts and nudity in my game. Like, I'm an adult and I'm allowed to purchase the blood, guts, and nudity game with the non-consensual mutilation of Sub-Zero whenever I want to. That's my right. I'm a consumer. I get to choose where I spend my money. It's not up to you to decide where I spend my money. I don't know. You haven't been on since this has happened. Do you have any general thoughts about this whole kind of thing?
So it's kind of a thing that it's crazy because we've talked about, this is not the first time that someone has tried to do something like this.
Yes.
But this time they're doing it in a different way. Instead of going after the games themselves,
right.
They're going through the way we pay for those games
right.
to buy them, which is different. And obviously it's a thing that gamers and the games industry will have to combat, and hopefully, just like we always have, things will be okay in the end. But that also doesn't mean they're not going to try to find another way to do this.
Yeah.
Because there's always people trying to do it. There was a story of one game, and I can't remember the name of the game, but it was a game that actually did not feature any of this, but the whole point of the game was the character dealing with PTSD from rape.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a conversation that is very prevalent in the game, but you never see anything. There's no nudity. There's no violence in the game. It's literally it's a game about the person coming to terms with the fact that this thing happened to them.
Right.
It was a very personal story by the person who made the game.
Yeah.
Got delisted because it dealt with the topic.
Right.
And they're like, my game doesn't have any violence in it. My game doesn't have any actual rape in it. My game doesn't have any sexual abuse in it or any of this stuff. Yet because it's dealing with the aftermath of it, you're saying I can't sell my game.
Right.
I know they have put it up for free essentially on their own page or whatever, and then
are you talking about Vile Exhumed?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, because I actually downloaded that, played it last night.
To
see what it was about,
and they even said hey, if you do want to pay what you want, pay what you want kind of thing.
Yeah,
all the proceeds go to.
I will say, I mean that game does have
a charity.
Does have some pretty graphic content in it, but it's not glorifying it. It's it's a horror game about doing this forensic dive on an old computer interface to basically look at this kind of horrible story that happened. But it was supposed to be listed on Steam this month in July, and then it wasn't because of all of this stuff. And so they have you can download the game for free from their page, and then they have basically a donation link. Half of it goes to charity, and half of it goes back to them. No, I mean that's what you get into. And this is such an old conversation. I don't know why. Every so often we run across these things where it's guys, this is an old conversation. We've had this conversation
a lot,
a bunch of times. The thing is that the game that the Collective Shout wanted taken off of Steam was an unpleasant game. I looked it up, and it was a bad game where you play as, or not a bad game. The content of the game was unpleasant. It was basically about somebody sexually assaulting their family members in a dungeon with a lot of violence, and it was gross. But who gets to draw the line is the problem, because inevitably speaking, it's not that there's a compromise about like what is allowed and what is not allowed. It comes down to the fact that it's like, well, I don't want any of this. Like Collective Shout, the ones that kicked this all off in the first place, they successfully lobbied the Australian government to get GTA 5 taken off of store shelves in Australia. Like they didn't want you to play any of GTA 5 because there was violence against women in it. I mean, I would say there was violence against everybody in GTA 5. Like, but GTA 5 wasn't exactly like a misogynist assault fantasy. It was like a crime thing where you just do whatever. So, yeah, the idea that then the payment processors get to decide what games I can and cannot play is not something that I am a fan of. And it seems patently obvious on its face. Like, of course, this is something that's not going to be well received. And of course, people are going to push back on this. They always have. Yeah. Like, they always have. None of this. We talked about the Hays Code before. You go back and look up the comics code where they outlawed the horror comics and the romance comics and the sex comics and stuff. And that's why we have superheroes, is because that was the only thing left that the comics code would allow.
And even that got hit by it.
And then suddenly when the comics code finally got released, we got all these crazy interesting stories that we couldn't tell because they would, like, for those of you who don't know the Comics Code Authority, they would literally take the pages and white out the stuff they didn't like on it. So you would literally be erasing parts of the art that they considered to be inappropriate before the comic could be put out. And you're like, who gets to make this decision is unfortunately it's a very slippery goddamn slope. And I just don't know. It seems like self-evident to me, maybe because I've been through this several times, of just like, okay, if this is to protect the children, there are already 1 million parental controls that you can use to protect the children with. And you say, well, the children will always get around that. And it's like, that's been the case since time immemorial. Kids will go out and find stuff that they're not supposed to be watching. They'll watch the scrambled Playboy channel. They'll sneak into an R-rated movie. They'll pay somebody's brother to buy beer for them. Like, this has always been a thing that happens. And I'm not saying that we should open the floodgates. I'm just saying that, like, these tools exist to try to lock this stuff down. It doesn't need to be the sort of thing where some guy in a suit in a room gets to decide what games I can buy and what games I can't buy. And that fucking sucks. Like, that we have to do this again. Anyway, we did actually have some updates though on that. itch.io has started returning some NSFW content to their store. However, only things that are 100% free. So they don't have to have a payment processor. This means that it has to be absolutely free. No pay what you want, no microtransactions inside of the game. 100%. You can download this without any money changing hands whatsoever. I mean, I don't know. Isn't just the next step here that, like, you start getting new payment processors out there that are just like, we'll fucking do whatever. Like, or the payment processors for like adult websites that are just like, yeah, man, you can just give us money and we'll you can use a MasterCard to buy a subscription to a pornographic website. So, like, why don't you just use those payment processors for these games? I guess then you'd have to separate your entire payment system into, like, if you're trying this game, it goes through this processor that has different fees, and so it's a whole big thing. But I don't know, man. If you've got the gumption for it, I'd say keep the pressure on these payment processors, because that's the only way to start working on this. Or I don't know, what was it 2 weeks ago where Anita Sarkeesian was like, I disagree with this new stance on, she had some kind of thing where she came out and was like, I disagree with all of this censoring of adult video games. And people were like, her? Because everybody, a lot of the people that are pro that type of game have been conditioned to dislike her intently. But yeah, it's never a good thing. Let's see. Oh, there was also a thing last week where GOG had a thing called freedomtobuy.com that had 13 NSFW games on it that were completely free. You could just, it's kind of like a humble bundle, but you didn't have to pay anything for it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And it's over now, but apparently they got like was like over a million downloads of all of these games. I mean, it's like Agony, Postal 2, and then just a bunch of porno, House Party and Honey Pop, and a bunch of those.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people downloaded it for House Party.
Yeah,
and Honey Pop.
I mean, yeah, sure. So, and then like it was a nice little thing because it's like you could get the games and then a pre formatted thing where you could then share on Twitter, like at like MasterCard, like I did this, let me fucking buy what I want to. So, yeah. Okay, completely different type of controversy.
Different controversies.
I don't know if you saw this, John. Probably not. But on it was on Weibo, the Chinese social media thing.
Yeah, I'm not on there very often.
You're not on the Weibo. Why is this? Wow, this thing is really buffering like shit. League of Legends, the League of Legends account on Weibo, whatever it is, posted this this video for League of Legends that was like this kind of like concert thing with a bunch of the characters from League of Legends. For some reason, the stupid ass X video player won't actually play. It was all AI, and it was all really like bad AI. There was like a song in it that sounded like it was written by AI because it didn't make very much sense. There were like characters shooting guns or using weapons that those characters don't use. It was, the whole thing looks like it was very much just put together as like this kind of garbage. And there was an immediate backlash.
Well, I would imagine.
The whole thing, like I was a little bit impressed at like, I mean, a lot of it you could very much tell is AI, but there were some kind of like little action sequences that were strung together. Now, of course, it was all off model. It was all shit. Like the song was bad. The action was bad. It was better than a lot of the stuff that I've seen. I was just interested to see kind of where the AI video generation has gone, but there was a big old backlash, and then the League of Legends Twitter account basically came out and said, hey folks, yesterday we posted a creator-made video on our official Weibo channel that frankly did not hit the mark. We post content on our official channels. It's on us to maintain a high-quality bar. To be clear about it, comes from thanks for all the feedback, which, yeah, I don't know. The thing that I'm mostly kind of getting to is that like we can still tell, right, when it's AI slop. So I don't know that like at this point it's worth trying to make promotional materials, especially for a company that has like artists and animators and 3D models, and like you could actually just do that stuff without having to resort to this. I don't know, John, this is your first time seeing this. What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah. I assume that you're not the biggest fan of the AI stuff in the world.
I'm not. I'm not really. I am very much a artists. Pay your artists. And by artists, if you type in a prompt, that does not make you an artist.
Yeah. It's funny though too, because the main like characters are kind of almost on model, but then every time they switch to the audience, it looks like a bunch of Pixar people.
Yeah.
Like there's a weird kind of like go between. Anyway, I don't know. That's just your weekly AI update. Also, though, we got one more because Google, they announced this new thing called Genie 3 that I watched that was kind of interesting, where it was like a oh good, it's another X video that just won't load. It's this like 720p 24 frames per second thing where it's like you can kind of generate worlds and you can kind of move around inside of them, and like the model will remember, like if you do something, you paint a wall and then you turn back to it, that it'll still be painted and it won't just hallucinate something else. It made me weirdly think about like if this stuff is is going to be something that we're going to be seeing more of. But then as part of this article, I read that it's like it takes like $1,000 an hour to run this model or something. Like it's a really energy intensive platform, and it's like, well, I don't want to be playing video games that cost $1,000 an hour. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, it would be nice if this would actually load, but it won't because X is a shit platform. So
I could have told you that.
Yeah. Is this the video? It was interesting though to see kind of where it is, because they put out Microsoft put out this Quake 2 or this Quake 1 thing where it was like you could kind of play this version of Quake that was generated as you went through it.
Yeah.
But it was real chunky and low res and shit. So I'm not sure who this is for just yet. Okay, maybe it's my internet that's having a problem because I can't even make this happen on a YouTube
your internet
video.
just doesn't like AI videos.
My router is like, no AI, no, I'm protesting. Don't you use me for this? Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
It's like, how dare you bring this slop into my router?
It's very bizarre. Is it just Chrome? Let's see. I know people hate it when I have problems, but let me just see if this will work. Nope. Okay, never mind. My entire internet's borked. So let's move on. Let's see. Speaking of really memory-intensive stuff, the Battlefield 6 beta is going on right now.
Okay.
And it turns out that one of the big things that Battlefield 6 is bringing in, this is something that was announced or that was integrated into a later patch in Battlefield 2042, but they have a kernel-level anti-cheat software, much like that Ricochet one that Call of Duty uses. But then also this means that people have had to, if you're running the PC beta, you have to turn on Secure Boot and was it TFS, the Trusted Platform? TPM, Trusted Platform Management, in your BIOS, in order to actually just run this video game, because it runs this software at such a low level. I'm like, shit, I've never been happier to have a PS5 in my life. I know that's been a thing that people have not been super. I don't know. It's kind of a question about a lot of PC users don't like it when games try to run such low level processes to do anti-cheating.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if they would prefer more cheating in the game, or if that's a trade-off that we've come to, where the only place to go when it comes to not having cheaters in your game is to basically go to run this stuff at an even lower level so that you can't spoof your way around it with just IP stuff. So anyway, it's out there, and we'll see how it goes. Let's see. We had another story, though. This is a question that people have had about Battlefield 6, is whether Battlefield 6 is going to lean into the goofy skin meta that Call of Duty and Fortnite both have. I would say Fortnite,
Fortnite has always been goofy skin.
Right.
Even when it was their own original characters,
right,
it was goofy skin. Now
goofy.
It's what licensed characters can we get? I mean, they just released the Power Rangers.
Yep. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. But it's been the Modern Warfare one that's been weirder.
Yeah, because they had Beavis and Butthead. Yep. They had
American Dad,
King of the Hill,
Cheech and Chong, Snoop Dogg,
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, a lot of ones where you're like, them?
Really?
I don't know why anyone would want to play Beavis and Butthead, considering they're cell shaded. They're super bright. They're super easy to pick out of the background. Why would you want to do that? Anyway, in an interview, it's kind of funny to hear this, because they were talking with the EA DICE's design director, and they were saying it has to be grounded. This is what BF3 and BF4 was. It was all soldiers on the ground. It's going to be like this. I don't think it needs Nicki Minaj. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it grounded.
You might need Nicki Minaj. let's just be a little honest here, Battlefield. You might need Nicki Minaj.
Well, it's funny.
Everyone else, who knows? But
I was like, because you remember it was what, Battlefield 5 5, I think, was the one where it had like the lady with the prosthetic leg.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's complaint was like, well, that's not how it was during World War II. And DICE's response was like, well, fuck you guys, we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to, and if you don't like it, don't buy it. Like, they were like, we don't have to keep this shit grounded. Now it's Battlefield 6, and they're like, we're keeping it grounded after we saw those sales of Battlefield 5.
Plus, we need to be the only the first person shooter that treats this stuff seriously.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is going crazy.
Do you like, there have been a little bit of Battlefield 6 stuff. Do you have any interest whatsoever in Battlefield 6? I would assume not, but
I don't have any interest. I don't even have any interest in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So, or Fortnite.
I guess if they had a mode that was like Firebreak, where it was like you and 2 other people playing Battlefield against AI opponents, any interest there? Is it just the subject matter in general of kind of modern warfare, planes, tanks, shooty, pew pew? That
I don't
doesn't
know.
do it for you. Yeah.
I think Firebreak 100% is because it takes place in the Control universe. If they actually said the next Call of Duty game takes place in the Control and Alan Wake universe, you know what? I might be in. But they're not going to do that.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So I'll be continuing to play Firebreak until they shut the servers down.
Mm-hmm. John's the one, you guys. He's holding on. He's holding on.
At least until I get my 100% on the achievements, which I'm 1 achievement away.
Yeah. Let's see. Speaking of Call of Duty, the QA folks over at Raven Software have managed to secure their first full union contract.
Oh, good for them.
So they unionized, and then they had like the actual negotiations with Microsoft, and they have now come out with a full-on contract. In a press release, they said that this included a guaranteed 10% wage increase over 2 years, plus additional raises through merit and promotions, significant restrictions on mandatory overtime, layoff protections, expanded disability accommodations, and more. So good for them.
Yeah, good for them. They deserve it.
I think that's a good precedent to set in the moving forward. I mean, I've been in favor for years of being like, the video game industry seems like a real shit place to work.
Yes.
And the tech industry in general seems like at this point a real shit place to work.
Yeah, especially with people getting laid off as much.
Yep. We had a story I don't even think I had in the thing here this week where the Bithell Games had to lay off a significant section of their staff. I'm sure that's probably because that Tron Legacy game came out and was like, I played it. It seemed good, but like it probably just didn't do the numbers that they needed to keep that stuff going.
Here's the thing. I love the Tron movies.
Yeah.
I love Tron Evolution, Tron whatever. I'm kind of interested in Tron Ares or whatever.
Yeah.
But no one's looking forward to a Tron game right now.
Well, that was interesting because it was like kind of Hades style combat, but also a time loop and like a mystery, and it seemed like it had a lot of good stuff going on. But I get what you're saying.
Like, no one's really looking for a Tron game at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But anyway, congratulations to the Raven Software folks. I'm sure that as time goes forward, I don't know. I just hope that we see more folks getting like union stuff, because it's the only way to get a good shake from the Daddy Corporation these days.
Yes.
So, let's see. From there, my thingy. Okay. Stupid ass website has a thing that keeps redirecting me. Let's see. Sven Vinke, the director over at Larian, the makers of Baldur's Gate 3, they recently came out and were talking about, can you believe it's only been 2 years since Baldur's Gate 3 came out? Like, I don't know. I guess it feels like it's been a lot longer time, at least in my head. Because this was recently, it was the 2-year anniversary.
It felt like it was closer to the pandemic than it actually was.
Yeah. Yeah. Came out and said, crazy to think it's only been 2 years. It's truly been life-changing. Let's see here. Let me bring the full statement up. Probably worth writing about one day, but I can spoil the biggest takeaway. BG3 was what allowed us to do our next crazy thing. How that will pan out is anybody's guess, but I can assure you we're working hard to ensure you'll have plenty of fun, like really loads of it in a surprising way, and I can't wait to show you, but you'll need to be patient / we'll need a bit of time to make it all work. It'll be worth it, though. So I think this is the first inkling we've heard of, like, obviously Larian was working on something. They didn't do any DLC for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, they just let fans make mods.
Yep. They did all those updates and everything.
Withers Big Naturals.
Yes. Apparently, no. I had a story last week that was apparently because of the 2-year anniversary, it was like 250,000 people have installed Withers Big Naturals.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm aware. I haven't. I actually been thinking about reinstalling Baldur's Gate on my console.
Did you beat it?
No, I never beat it. I got pretty far into it, but I never beat it. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll play it again. And now there's mod support on the consoles as well. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, maybe I'll play with mods. You know, not Withers Big Naturals, but
why would you not give Withers the Big Naturals?
I mean, I don't know.
He's got a skeleton chest. He needs something there to keep him warm in the wintertime.
That's true. That is true.
I think this is the first time we've heard something specific that they're definitely working on whatever the next thing is.
Yeah. I know they're not working on Baldur's Gate 4.
Yes.
Because they were very like, no, we're done with that.
I guess the big question will be whether they go back to the Divinity universe. Because Original Sin 2 was very well received.
Yeah.
Like, I never played all the way through it, but what I played of it, I liked. It's just a very complicated and in-depth game.
Yeah, I think from what I heard, they didn't want to do Baldur's Gate 4. Like, they were like, we're going to do Baldur's Gate 3 and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then I think behind the scenes, Hasbro fucked that relationship hard.
Possibly.
Because Hasbro, that side, like the Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, they fucked Wizards of the Coast over so bad that, like, they burned every bridge.
Yeah.
Company-wise.
Well, and then the thing is that if we've learned anything over the last few years, it's that Larian is still majority owned by Sven Vincke and his wife. And so it's like they don't have to cater to stockholders asking for expanded profits every year. They could just be like, no, we're going to take our time and do what we want to, which has meant that they've had an incredibly refreshing amount of like autonomy to say and do whatever the fuck they feel like.
I think they've gotten enough good grace that whatever they do make now, whether it's they go back to Original Sin or they do a completely new IP or whatever they do, I think it's just from the makers of Baldur's Gate 3 and people will be like, I'm fucking there.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a fucking amazing game.
It's game of the year, 100%, 100,000%. I mean, it's one of those games. You can tell that it's one of those games because I think a lot of us have non-gamer friends who then desperately wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3. It's like World of Warcraft, where I've never seen it go as wide as it did. Where
and it's also so crazy because like it's one of those games where I don't think I've ever talked to anyone that's had the same experience.
Yep.
Like there may be similar, but there's always that one thing that says like, oh, what about when this happened? And everyone in the room is like, what?
Yeah.
That never happened. What are you talking about?
Yep. My favorite part of that game was when my non-combat bard got thrown into a scenario where they had to fend for themselves, and the only way that I got through it was to cast Vicious Mockery every turn because it lowered the hit percent for the enemies, and the enemies happened to be velociraptors. So I basically was going through shit-talking velociraptors and calling their mothers big scaly assholes, and then they would cry, and then they wouldn't be able to attack me, and then I would stab them with my stab them.
Nice.
So one turn of Vicious Mockery and one turn of stabbing you right in the fucking face. It took me 40 minutes to get through that part of the game, and I was like, I negged those dinosaurs so goddamn hard that they couldn't even hit me. They were so distraught with all of the vicious insults that I was like laying out. That and I made the devil dance to death. And both of those were like, mwah, chef's kiss, game of the year. Love it. Let's see. We got the news last week that the new Bioshock game is in trouble, John. John, did you know there was a new Bioshock game?
I assume there's been 6 Bioshock games that have never come out.
Yep. Well, no, because Ken Levine isn't even making them anymore. He's been off making that, was it Prometheus or...
I'm aware.
Whatever that other one is. But yeah, 2K retained the rights, and apparently they've had some team like working on the game.
Yeah.
For a while.
I'm pretty sure they've had like 6 different teams that have been like scrapped and fired and start over.
It's been 12 years since Infinite. There was a studio called Cloud Chamber internally at 2K that was working on this. And apparently, the studio head Kelly Gilmore was removed after the latest like milestone meeting kind of evaluation thing, and has been replaced with creative director Hogarth de la Plante. And yeah, so apparently they've got this Bioshock game, and it exists. And they said that it's a good game, but they want it to be a great game, so they basically are sending it back for more time. But 12 years since Bioshock Infinite came out.
Yeah.
So it's so weird. Is Matt and I did a full sequential of Bioshock Infinite back in the day. So it's weird to hear that it's been that long. Let's see. I don't know about this one. This is a little weird. Dan Houser has, Dan Houser split off from Rockstar a few years back and started up his own company called Absurd Ventures. And their biggest claim to fame is a dramatic podcast that they have that's about like a video game company that created some kind of sentient intelligence or something like that. They have said that they were going to do like this kind of transmedia thing where they were going to do comics and all kinds of stuff. But they recently finally got a publisher for a game. And it's Smilegate, the South Korean developer that made you and I's favorite Remedy game, Crossfire X.
It was all right.
So who knows? I personally, when I read this and I'm like, okay, Dan Houser's out here and doing his own creative venture in a dramatic podcast space and now has gotten South Korean Smilegate Crossfire money to make his own new video game based in his original universe. This is going to be a glorious disaster. It's going to be so bad. We're talking American McGee's Bad Day LA. We're talking about Mind's Eye. We're talking about Daikatana. Well, that's where we are in for some shit, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be horrible. Do not look forward to this. I don't care what the trailers look like.
I appreciate that we both went to Daikatana.
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to think of games that looked cool, and then I went to go play them, and it was like, oh, it's not cool. Oh, it turns out it's not cool. So anyway, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll be fine, but I doubt it. I doubt it heavily. Nothing here makes me think that it's going to be any good. So, all right. We got a few more here, then we're going to wrap it up. There was a game that came out, I think it was last year, called... what was it called? It was called like Threshold, I think. Threshold. And apparently it was this real lo-fi game where you play as like a train conductor, and it's kind of a Papers, Pleasey type of thing, but it's got some weird like horror elements to it. This article I read talked about the ending of it. It's got a really dramatic ending that really depends on what country you're from when you load the game up. Apparently, of the people that have purchased the game, only like 20% have played the game. So
I think I've heard about this. Okay.
The developer came out and was like, please, just if you bought it, I'm going to tell you, buy it. I'm saying if you've already purchased my game, it's like an hour and a half long. Just go play it. Like, I need the stats on Steam. Don't just hoard this shit in your library. Yeah. So, I don't know. You don't really do very much Steam gaming, right?
I haven't in a while. Like, I have a laptop that I can play. I could still play modern games or whatnot.
Yeah.
Pretty good. But I don't know. I'm more of a console gamer. But I have Steam on it. I have played games on Steam. I haven't gone onto it in a while.
Well, maybe one of the things that will help you. This is an interesting thing. I don't know if you've heard about this. This is a Kickstarter that actually got funded for this app called Ludocene, Ludoscene, and it is it's like a mobile app that is like Tinder, but like kind of for games, where you tell the app like what games you like, and then it brings up like cards of that are each for a game that has like the game and its elevator pitch and like a trailer and stuff like that, and you kind of swipe like yes or no on it, and it tries to build up kind of a profile to find out like what kind of games you like, and then you can like it'll synthesize your selections down into basically like a psychographic profile to try to recommend to you games that you may or may not have ever seen otherwise. But it's also got other weird things where you can like add like gaming journalists will create like a portfolio of games that they recommend, and so you can basically say like, well, I like these kind of games, but let me put this journalist's like recommendations in there and then synthesize what you want out of it, which I think it's really interesting. The idea that we have so many games these days that we need like an app to tell us what games to play because it's so hard to find stuff. But yeah, this is a Kickstarter that's got a $35,000 goal and is already up to $47,000. I mean, it's a very modest goal for like an app development. I would be interested to know if they're how they're doing this, how they're finding these games, and how they're matching your taste. Because this does seem like the sort of thing that AI would be perfectly suited to try to do in the background.
I mean, definitely there probably is some AI aspect to it.
Possibly. I don't know. It's interesting, though, because I keep finding, you get these YouTube channels that'll tell you about some game you've never heard of before. And you're like, oh, how have I never heard about that? And it's just because Steam releases like 70 games a day.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of them are not very well. Some of them are good, but not popular. And so you just don't hear about them unless you've got some place to tell you, hey, look at this. So, but it's interesting. It's interesting. And then you know what? Let's wrap it up here with one last story about a developer. Let's see. Peak is a big thing right now.
Yeah, it's pretty popular with the streamers.
Everybody's looking Peak, as is the want. Apparently, there is a game called Cliff in Roblox that is just a straight up fucking ripoff of Peak.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a ton of people do that in Roblox.
Yeah, except that in Roblox apparently it just solicits you to spend Robux constantly. So last week the developer of the Aggro Crab, the developer of Peak, came out and said, "I would rather you pirate our game than play this crappy Roblox spin-off bullshit." So. Which I'm always happy. I don't know. It's one thing to rip off another game, but like when you look at like the art for this thing is just such a direct rip off that like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know you motherfuckers sleep at night with that stuff. So anyway, everybody should play Peak. Speaking of Peak, we got some Peak trailers. We're gonna get to those in just a minute. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Yes.
And John, that means it's time for trailers. I know we started with trailers, but we got a bunch more trailers. So,
yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah, especially because we had Evo last week, so we got a bunch of new kind of little fighting game things.
Oh, okay.
But that's not where we're going to start. John, you're on the podcast. We're starting with the new Fortnite update.
Fortnite!
Bad Bugs versus the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you saw this trailer where it's like it's all...
It starts off in-game and then it switches to live action.
Yeah, this switches to kind of a cheeky live action version of
people
like a Power
in
Rangers.
And yeah, I fucking loved it. I like I was like, man, why can't we get actual Power Rangers that look like this? Live action Power Rangers that look like this.
It's they really went all out, which I'm sure that this didn't cost like a lot of money to make. Like
it probably cost some money.
I'm just surprised. I guess that Saban let them I know Saban is very
well. Saban doesn't actually own the license anymore.
Oh, really?
They sold it to Hasbro.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
And Hasbro loves toys, so and actually doesn't give a shit about the Power Rangers product anymore.
Yeah, so there's new Power Rangers skins in Fortnite, as well as the Megazord.
Even the Green Ranger's in it, and like the Dragon Zord is in it. So both the Megazord and the Dragon Zord are in it.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. It's funny because I have to ask every time. Is like, John, is this enough to get you to play Fortnite? No, not at all.
No, I don't care.
No. What would be enough? What character would be enough to get John into Fortnite? Is there a Kamen Rider?
Probably Kamen Rider.
Maybe a Kamen Rider.
I was about to say like Alan Wake, but he's already in the game.
Yeah.
So,
I guess. Yeah, it's if they had like a more Alan Wake focused level, that might have been better. But
because I did almost download it just for that. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, give me a Kamen Rider. Give me some Announced that the upcoming Zetsu. Give me some Ichigo, some Kamen Rider Ichigo.
All right, there you go. You heard him. You heard him, Epic. Get on it. I feel at this point, Epic Games makes enough money that they're like, yes, we need one more player. We need to get that John guy in here. Yeah, from there, let's go ahead and jump into some other superheroes with the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls Beginner Guide. This was like an 11-minute long explainer video about how the game works.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been following any of this.
I know of the game. I know its Arc system works, which means it's going to be a fucking great game.
Yeah.
It's got some interesting costume designs for the characters. It looks like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yes.
The best of Marvel vs. Capcom. I just think that out of the characters that have been announced, I don't know if they've already announced the whole roster or not.
Oh, no.
But if they have or have come close to, I think it needs a bigger roster.
Oh, no. I'm sure there's going to be way more because they're really only dealing with the people that were in the original announced trailer.
Yeah.
Some of the interesting things that happened here was that there's like you start off like because it's a 4v4, and so you've got your main character, and then you've got your 3 assist characters. But by default, the 2 of them are locked. And so you have to do like a stage transition attack in order to unlock another assist character.
Oh.
So basically, it's like as you play, the more you do, the better. Like your meter will expand, and you get more access to the support characters who seem like they're very specific, and like they talked about how like one of them is an anti-air, one of them is a forward, one of them is a defensive assist. It seems like what I'll tell you what I got from this was that like this seems like a very Arc System Works technically intensive fighting game.
Yes.
Like it is a very Blaze Blue, it is a very Guilty Gear style
I
game.
did like both Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear. So
they also had a really interesting thing where they talked about how there's like special attacks, and there's like a special attack like button, like it just do a special attack, kind of like a Smash Brothers thing, but that like you can also do inputs for special attacks, and that like they're all going to be on the table, but that like using the quick special attack button does a slightly weaker version of that attack.
Oh,
so
okay.
doing the inputs for it does a more powerful version of the attack. And I'm like, oh, that's a good, like, because I can't pull off those inputs for special attacks fast enough. Like I'm not, my hands don't work fast enough anymore for that. But yeah, I don't know. Everything about it looks really good. Like, I really like the way the art style. I really like the way the characters have been rendered. Even though, Tony Stark is just a Gundam. He's just a Gundam at this point with the little V on his head and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. Like, I think that it's nice to see a Marvel game that's not just Capcom.
Yeah.
The Marvel vs. Capcom thing was never my bag, and it's nice to see them getting out there between this and then what's the beat 'em up, the Cosmic Alliance or Cosmic whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Marvel doing some stuff. It's so weird to me that just we never were able to really cash in on the Marvel at its peak.
Yeah.
Like when it came to games, and that now there's like a few places out there where they're like, well, we're not directly tying into the movies. We're just being like, give me a game with some Marvel people in it.
Yeah.
And make it a good game.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the big problem, is that they were trying to tie them into the movies, trying to get some of that movie money, and then they would they would start the process so late in the process that by the time the studio started working on the game, like they'd have to rush and crunch, and then they'd make a shit game.
Yep. And it was like that in
because Iron Man game was garbage.
I mean, it was like that in Star Wars, where like they never could seem to get their shit together to make like a good AAA game that coincided with the movie, even when they were at their height.
Yeah.
Like there probably should have been a Mandalorian video game, right? Like, but they just didn't get it together. So, but yeah, I think this looks really good. It does look very interesting. There's also going to be a closed beta.
Oh, nice. It's going to be a PS5 though. So
PS5, yeah.
I think it's a PS5 exclusive.
No, it's already over. It was the 5th through the 7th.
So okay.
Jeff looked at all these links yesterday when he was really tired. There you go.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's see. Speaking of superheroes, we got another Invincible Versus video. This one is the Omni-Man one. Last week we got Battle Beast and a few other things for SDCC, but this one is specifically focused on Omni-Man. It is, as you would expect, as brutal as everything else that's been seen in this. Have you been keeping up with the Invincible Versus?
I have not. I mean, I know of the game.
Yeah.
This is a case of, I think I saw that same whenever they did the announcement for it, but I haven't been.
Oh, like
up
Summer
with.
Games Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've announced a few folks, some folks since then. They've been in a pretty decent clip. And last week, Robert Kirkman was talking about how, he had said that, if you like a character, they're probably going to be in this game. So it looks like they might be doing a pretty big roster, which, given the fact that it feels like every week they've had at least one new character announcement, makes a lot of sense. A lot of blood. Not a lot of X-ray attacks or anything, but everybody seems like they're covered in blood in this thing, as is probably the want for Invincible. So
yeah,
it also just looks really nice.
Yeah, it does look good.
It's very crisp and it's very solid, and it works as a game. So, yep. Let's see from there. Like I said, we had some stuff from Evo. We got the Sea Viper teaser trailer. It's going to be the next character for Street Fighter 6. It showed the kind of main character of the Street Fighter 6 universe meeting up with Sea Viper, who's having them fight like a hologram of M. Bison, since I think Sea Viper is in Shadaloo. Forgive me, I don't know the extended Sea
I thought
Viper.
she was a government agent.
Is she? I don't know. I could be. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
She was against Shadaloo.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. There was a bunch of characters. I kind of lost track of Street Fighter around the end of 4. I could be thinking of I don't know, Jury or the what was that, the Aki or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, in this little cutscene, it's like the VM Bison hologram gets out of control, and then the two of them have to kind of beat it up. So I'm sure that this is going to end up being like a stage where you can go and get the Sea Viper moves, as well as adding her into the game directly. It's interesting to see how Street Fighter 6 must be doing well, because they keep adding this stuff in there. I think it was Elena was the last one that they added in. Or it could have been something
I haven't been playing. I keep debating on whether or not to go back to Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
Just because,
Oh, no, it was Sagat. Sagat was the last one that was there. Did you play it? I mean, did you play the story mode for it?
Yeah, no, I played the story mode.
Oh, okay.
Where you create your own character and walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's see. From there, we got a very, very brief look at the new Virtua Fighter. It was like a 1 minute thing with oh god, what the hell is her name? Do you remember the name of the blonde lady in Virtua Fighter? Nina? No. Am I wrong?
I don't remember any of the character names in Virtua Fighter.
Okay.
Other than, I think, Akira.
Oh yeah. So it's the blonde lady, and then this other guy, I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a Virtua Fighter character. I thought he looked like a character from that new a dragon game, honestly. But it shows a very brief just kind of bout between the two of them in a very kind of sparse area. It's mostly just like a teaser. I've never really been I've wanted to be into Virtua Fighter, but goddamn, we talk about a technical game. Yeah. Virtua Fighter is, you got to be on top of your game to play Virtua Fighter.
I was more of a Dead or Alive when it came to the 3D games. Dead or Alive was more my thing than Virtua Fighter.
Yeah. It looks really nice. Everything about it looks like the characters look really, really detailed and nice and everything. So it does look like something that I'll be keeping an eye on, but probably not going to be my number one fighting game. Let's see from there. We had a trailer, but it's not really very much. The Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, the big thing being done by what is it? Digital Eclipse. Those are the guys that did the Karateka, and so
and it's supposed to have Mortal Kombat 1 through 3.
Yes, they had previously announced Mortal Kombat 1 through 3, but at EVO they announced that it was also going to have Mortal Kombat Trilogy in it, which was the one that basically had all of the fighters from 1 through 3. So, and then also they announced that there's going to be a physical release for it.
Okay.
And like a collector's edition that has a bunch of like statues and coins and bullshit. But so, yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, that's definitely good stuff.
Just what I really want is I want them to put Shaolin Monks somewhere where I can play it. Burnout 3 Takedown and Shaolin Monks are the two games I want to play for the PS2 era.
Give me Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. No.
Oh, you're the one. Oh, you're the one who wants to know.
I don't. But
we also got like a full-on. This has already been released, and we already knew all about it. But we got a little animated teaser for Ken. Ken Masters is going to be in the new
King of Fighters.
City of the Wolves as DLC, and it was just a little animated thing with him and Terry fighting. I thought it was kind of boring because like they're both wearing brown jackets and they're both white blonde hair guys.
The joke is that in 6 they made him look like Terry Bogard.
Right. Yeah, the what was the meme was the like I just want my kids back, Ken, because he's on the run from the law. Is a nice little teaser.
Yeah,
more than anything else. So, yeah. Let's see. We also got a very long gameplay trailer for Armored King in Tekken.
Okay.
So. It was funny because, I know like you've got King and you've got Armored King.
Yeah.
So Armored King, I think, is a whole separate guy, I think.
Yes.
I think. Okay.
There's also more than one king.
Oh, there's more than one king. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think you would know about the masked wrestler guy. In
yeah,
Tekken.
the masked wrestler guy who's based on Tiger Mask.
Yeah. So, yeah, they announced Armored King and they put out this gameplay trailer. John, this motherfucker is 5 minutes long. And I watched the whole thing and I was like, God damn, that's a lot of Armored King beating people up in Tekken. I'm not really much of a Tekken guy. I don't know, does this do anything for you?
Yeah, I mean it's Tekken. It's, got King and Armor King, it's all.
Yeah, I feel like we're kind of down the DLC character rabbit hole. I feel like it's just every 2 months they're putting out a new DLC character.
I'm actually okay with that because it was like for a while there, it just felt like, instead of releasing a character or a character pack or whatever, it'd be like, it's been a year. Let's just release the next installment of the game.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, we're going to release one game and we're going to make it the best game we can. And we're going to continue to iterate on it. Not really change much, but, iterate on the game, make, fix bugs, add like a few things here and there. But let's update the roster with new characters over the years. So, you can have a fighting game or that's out for like 6 years and it's still good.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's got a good roster and everything. So,
yep. It is very pretty. I do think the Tekken is very pretty, even though I don't know anything about King or Armored King. So, let's see. We also got here's something I do know something about. Guilty Gear Strive. They got a trailer. This had been announced previously, but a full trailer for Lucy from Guilty Gear Edge Runners is going to be a DLC character for Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting considering that we're like nowhere near the release of Edge Runners or the sequel, but it looks great in this.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear, the Arc System Works stuff just looks fantastic. So, and I think it's interesting because some of the special moves, they literally have like the Cyberpunk 2077 UI of like the hacking stuff inside of the game. Very, very cool. Very dynamic. I don't know. Did you watch Edge Runners?
I did.
Okay. Does this do anything?
Thought it was okay.
You gonna go play Guilty Gear?
I mean, I have played Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to go back and play it. But, I have played it in the past.
Yeah.
And I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks pretty cool. Let's see. From there, let's see. We got, changing gears entirely, we got the trailer for the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 like HD 2D remake. You and I played Dragon Quest 3 remake.
Yeah.
And we're not incredibly enthused.
I mean, it's Dragon Quest.
Yeah. I didn't realize it, but apparently this isn't out yet. Like, this still didn't have a release date. I know they announced that they were going to be putting out 1 and 2 as a way to kind of have that, the whole thing as a collection where you had, because 3 is like the first one. It goes 3, 1, 2 in the timeline.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about maybe going back and playing Dragon Quest 1, just because that was the one I played like as a child.
Yeah.
And I know that one better than any of the rest of them, and they all seem to get really, really complicated from there when it comes to all the gameplay and stuff. This is also now broken containment from the Switch, so it's on like the PlayStation, the PC, and stuff like that.
Ah, nice.
But we actually have a full-on release date for it. So, yeah, it's coming out on October. I think it's October 30th. Yes.
A lot of games come out in October.
Yeah.
At the end of October.
Yep. Big October this year. I have to keep forgetting. I don't know what is wrong with my brain, John, but August and September get flip-flopped in my brain all the time, so I keep seeing trailers that are like, it's coming out in September. I'm like, ooh, let me put it on the schedule. And I'm like, oh no, that's like a month away.
Yeah, we still got some time.
I think it's just me wanting to have more games in August than we have right now.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Let's see. I don't know what Tired Jeff was doing, but speaking of classic RPGs and classic stories, we finally got a teaser for Darksiders 4. So this will finally be continuing from where Darksiders 1 left off. At the end of Darksiders 1, War hooks up with all of his buddies. Darksiders 2 was about death. Darksiders 3 was about strife. No. Plague. No. Fury. What was
Fury.
her name?
Yeah, Fury. It was Fury.
And then Darksiders, the shooty one, was about strife.
Yeah, he got fucked over. Didn't get a numbered entry. Got like a tiny arcade, little top-down arcade shooter.
Dude, that game rules.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like, we didn't get a numbered entry, and now
should have been a numbered entry, but I still think that game, like, I like that game way more than Darksiders 3.
Okay.
I will say though, okay, so I gotta ask you, how do you and I played Darksiders back in the day for Patreon? How do you feel about Gunfire being the one to make Darksiders 4? Mostly because, like, when that company split, it was like Gunfire and Airship Syndicate.
Yeah.
And Airship Syndicate made Darksiders Genesis.
Yeah.
That was where Madera and like most of the art team went, and I really liked Darksiders Genesis.
Well, the Airship was Madera's company. Like, he is the figurehead of that company.
And then Gunfire made Darksiders 3, which I was like about. Like, I played it, I beat it, it was okay. But then they made Remnant 2, Remnant 2, and I didn't get into Remnant, but Remnant 2 was really good. Like, it caught a lot of people off guard and had some really interesting ideas. But I just don't know, like, the Gunfire seems like their stuff is just a lot grittier, and the Darksider stuff to me has this kind of nice, kind of cartoony feel to it that I don't know. I'm very conflicted because, like, I don't hate Gunfire, but I just, like, I've been waiting a long time to see this story come to a conclusion, and I don't know if they're the ones that I want to see do it after the work they did on Darksiders 3.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of stopped caring about Darksiders after Darksiders 2.
Oh, yeah?
Like,
okay.
Darksiders 3 didn't really do anything for me.
Yep.
And I just kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna walk away from this.
I really want you to play Genesis. I really want you to play Genesis. I think you would really like it.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
But I don't know. We'll see. Again, like I say, I want to like it, right? I want to like it.
They haven't said what the game is, like what type of game, and they do kind of change it up every now and then.
Yep.
Turns out it's a 4-player co-op shooter.
No.
like FBC Firebreak.
It's an extraction shooter. It's FBC Firebreak in the fucking Darksiders universe.
Yeah, you play as one of the four horsemen.
Favorite game of all time.
They have to play it 4-player.
They all have guns now. Yeah, interesting to see them picking up the cliffhanger after so long.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what happens in 3. I do remember though when they put out like a remaster of 2, like not that long ago, just kind of out of nowhere. And man, I started playing it. I was like, oh fuck, this is good. Like I wanted to just keep playing it because Darksiders 2.
No, Darksiders 2 is great.
So good. So good. Which is mean because Darksiders 3 I don't think is a bad game. It's just that like I love 1 and 2 so much that like I wanted more out of 3.
It paled in comparison.
Yes. It was not bad. It just wasn't on the same level. So we got a new weapons trailer for Lost Soul Aside. Speaking of action hacky slash RPGs. Do you remember this one? This is like one guy making basically like a kind of an action JRPG that looks a lot like Final Fantasy meets like almost like a Devil May Cry type of thing.
No, I'm blanking on it.
This was announced a long time ago, and I think the big claim to fame around that time was that it was like, yeah, there's one guy making this. It was one of these like micro teams from like I think China that was just making this thing kind of all on their own. And it's got this very kind of edgelordy, like black trench coat wearing protagonist, and he's got this like dragon that turns into a bunch of different swords and scythes and different things, and then you're beating up a bunch of guys, and it looks like a Final Fantasy game from an alternate universe.
Yeah, it does. It looks
especially with the way that Final Fantasy 16 looked, like it being kind of an action game. I think
if you had told me this was a new Final Fantasy game, I would believe you.
The only reason that you wouldn't know that is because none of the iconic monsters from Final Fantasy are in here.
Yeah,
they're all like their own, even though they're all kind of like a Final Fantasy adjacent style. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a couple years I think since I've seen anything on this, and it looks like a really fun, hacky, slashy, jumpy, shooty. Kind of third-person action RPG game, and they've got this whole thing in the trailer where the different weapons have different properties, and you can switch between them like mid-combo, etc., etc. I think it looks really good. So we should go check it out. Let's see. After that, we got the. I don't even know about why I put this on this list. The Call of Duty Black Ops 6 official Season 5 story cinematic trailer. Apparently this is just the story trailer for the next season of Call of Duty. And it's just the guys from the last Black Ops game talking about how they're going to shoot a bunch of guys, and then a montage of them shooting a bunch of guys. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the montage of them shooting a bunch of guys looks really cool, but it always does when it comes to Call of Duty games. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about this. There's no American Dad. There's no Beavis or Butthead. There's no Power Rangers in here, John. So I don't know what I'm supposed to take about this. We also got just a 30-second little trailer for the Battlefield 6 open beta.
Okay.
We got a lot of footage of this last week, so this is a little redundant. Yeah, if you guys are hearing this, I mean, I think I'm going to try to play this next weekend. I didn't play any of it this weekend because I've been a little sick, but I think next week I'm going to try the second open beta because it's this weekend and then next weekend. So.
Okay.
Looks good, though. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing. We're just on the verge of seeing Dying Light the Beast.
Oh, okay.
So this is the standalone DLC for Dying Light featuring the protagonist from the first Dying Light.
Okay.
Who has now become like an upgraded monster killing machine. This trailer is basically a bunch of like execution, incredibly bloody gore things. I like at the end they've got one of the giant zombies trying to hit him with this chunk of rebar, and he literally just catches it in midair with his hands and then crushes the shit out of the guy. I'm very curious about this because I really liked the first Dying Light, John, and then I didn't play the second one because it was supposed to be so long.
I did not play the second one at all.
Did you play the first one?
I did play the first one. I didn't play it as much as you did. You got into it a little bit more than I did.
I think the thing with the first one is that I probably played it as long as the second one was slated to be.
Yeah.
But it was all in like expansions that came out because of that big open world expansion that came out later. So it's like I had a break of a couple of years before I came back to it. But I don't know. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need to get back into the protagonist from the first game in September. Because don't get me wrong, man. I like the look of all the blood and guts and gore and like, what do they say? Non-consensual mutilation.
Oh, non-consensual, yeah.
Does it count if it's zombies that are getting non-consensually mutilated?
I don't know.
I mean, because these zombies are getting non-consensually mutilated. I'm just saying. Let's see. We also got so last week during the Nintendo Partner Direct, we got the release date for Chronos: The New Dawn, which is the Bloober Team kind of third-person sci-fi horror game. But we got a full-on trailer this week that had completely different stuff on it. Have you been following this at all?
A little bit.
Yeah. I think this looks really good. Like, and this trailer had a lot more story to it because it's kind of the main character talking with another person in the big weird vagina helmet.
Yeah.
About like humanity and what they think about it, and like talking about how humanity used to listen to music, and they've got like a radio and stuff. I don't know. I'm always rooting for Bloober Team, and up until very recently, they've always let me down. But like the cutscenes that they're showing here with the other like humans in it, like the voice, like the facial acting and everything, looks really good.
It does.
Yeah, the environments look really creepy and interesting, and it all just looks very smooth and very cool. So I really want this one to work out. I don't know. You said you've been keeping an eye on this one as well?
Yeah. I've been, I haven't been like, I haven't seen what you're playing in front of me. The trailer that you're playing, I haven't seen before. But yeah, I've been kind of keeping an eye on it because, like you, I am a Team Bloober supporter. I don't think I've been disappointed by as many of their games as say you have.
Yeah,
because I do think that there have been like one or two games where I've been like, oh no, I love that game, and like I thought it was really good, and you've been like, I didn't, I hated it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only game of theirs that I really unequivocally liked was the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah,
and I think that up until then, none of their games had any kind of like combat in them, and I think that's what I was missing. And so Silent Hill 2, and then with this, there's definitely like a combat element to it. So. Thank you. So anyway, looks good. I recommend everybody who's interested take a look at this. September 5th is when that's coming out. Go to it. We got some more horror stuff out there. Karma: The Dark World is getting released on the Xbox. I think this was on the PC and PS5. Very weird game. Amanda and I played it. It was like a kind of a walking simulator. People might remember it from the ones where the guys have the TVs on their heads.
Yes.
And that the main character kind of looks like Johnny from Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
When Amanda and I played it, it seemed really interesting, but it was very disjointed. So I don't know if the story, like it was just weirdness, and it was unclear exactly what the hell was going on.
Probably still feels unclear.
Yeah. Anyway, that's coming out on the Xbox September 10th. So
nice.
Check it out. We got a full-on, this was teased at Summer Games Fest, but Reanimal, which is the latest game from Tarsier, the Little Nightmares folks.
Little Nightmares, yeah.
This just looks like more Little Nightmares.
It does.
Like it's
I was
more
just
Little
like,
Nightmares.
I was like, I have seen the trailer for this, and it looks. Isn't it just more Little Nightmares?
Apparently, I saw somebody in the comments say that like it's supposed to be more like brutal and scary than Little Nightmares. The Little Nightmares isn't quite as like mean as this is, and I'm like, well, the monsters look a little bit creepier. They look a little bit less like cartoon caricatures, a little bit more just like unknowable horrors. But like, other than that, I don't know what the difference is. Like, it seems like this company only knows how to do one thing.
Like the shadowy backgrounds, and you're running around, and
you're a bunch of little dudes, and then there's a lot of big monsters. So I don't know. It's coming out Q1 2026. I don't know. We watched a few months back. We watched. They had a like a direct for Little Nightmares 3, and we found out in there that Little Nightmares has like a podcast, like a narrative, like Welcome to Night Vale style podcast, and like a comic, and like they're making a tie-in short film and like a YA novel. And I'm like, I didn't know Little Nightmares was this popular for you to be doing all this shit.
I mean, good on them.
Yep. We got the launch trailer for Static Dread next, which is a game where you play a lighthouse keeper. This is all very... none of this is what the game looks like. It's like one of those retro PSX games. So this looks like it's like a Cthulhu game where you play as a lighthouse keeper, and you're trying to like... It's described as kind of like Papers, Please, where you're trying to like guide people through this Lovecraftian like environment. I don't know exactly what this is, but it's out now. It seems kind of interesting, even though this particular trailer is very cinematic and does not at all look like what the game looks like.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like. I was like, okay, what's the game look like?
It's of that current like kind of PSX low resolution.
Okay.
Like you're kind of moving around, and it's got kind of chunky graphic, kind of abiotic factor, a little bit like that. Okay. Or and I don't know, it's getting really good reviews, so it might be something to check out at some point, because it does like it has the kind of Lovecraftian kind of weirdness to it. Yeah. So we also got, speaking of stuff on the ocean, this is a showcase for this game called Tides of Tomorrow. This was, I think, announced at Summer Games Fest, and it's by the people who made that Road 96
this
game.
also looks familiar.
Yeah, and the big thing with this one is that like you play it online, but then the things that other people do online will affect your gameplay.
Yes.
And you'll see like images of like where those people went. I was hoping that when I watch this trailer, I get a better idea of how that all works. And I didn't. What is happening is a little bit too ambiguous, and how the multiplayer aspect ties together is unclear to me. They also talked a lot about the single player. Like, there's a single player way to play the game, kind of with bots, that doesn't have to do with having to be online.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because the art style is interesting and it looks good, but I'm still very confused about what is happening.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what the hell is that game? Dishonored?
Oh, I could see that.
The look, just the look of the game.
Yeah,
kind of reminds me of Dishonored a little bit.
Like a very colorful Dishonored.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That's coming out February of next year. Let's see. Moving on, we got the early access release trailer for Stick It to the Stickman. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Want to kick some Stickman butt?
Yep, based on the old like Stickman Flash stuff. This is a Free Lives joint where you're doing kind of like ridiculous kung fu moves against other stick figures, trying to take down the corporate structure in the stick world. I played the demo for this and it was like okay, but I think they've done a lot of work on it since then. But we actually have a date. August 18th is it's finally coming to early access. Has this been on your radar at all, or
no? I mean, I've heard of it, but like it's not really been like on my radar as like to play it.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's Free Lives that I'll kind of I'll pay attention to anything that Free Lives.
I'll give anything they have a try.
Yeah,
if it pops up on like Game Pass or whatever, sure, I'll play it.
Absolutely. For people who aren't caught up on the dojos, Time Flies came out with a release date trailer. This was like I had a really good time when we played this. You play as a housefly, and then you choose your. I didn't realize early on that you choose your location, and then that determines how much life your fly has based on how long flies live in the particular country that you choose.
Yes.
But then it also affects the people in the environment. Like the environment changes depending on what place you say you're from. But this is a very, very lo-fi game where you have like a minute basically to kind of do a bunch of different little achievements. Fun stuff. We also got the launch trailer for Esophagize, something that's been on my radar for a little while. I didn't know this was out. This is kind of a what was that game with the guys with the big beefy dudes that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
From back in the old days. Anyway, this is a game where you play as a bunch of old men with extendo necks, and you use the extendo necks in order to do platforming challenges and play multiplayer. And it absolutely looks completely and totally fucking ridiculous. I had no idea that this was coming out in such short order. There was another game where it was like I played it a long time ago, where it was like a dog, I think, that had two heads, and you played it with two people where each person, it was like a dog that was connected to the middle, and then each person controlled one head of the dog. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to think, like, the only other thing I can think of is the game where it's a Devolver Digital game.
Genital jousting?
No. There's one where it's like you're a circle with like giant arms, and it's like you gotta hold hands to get across, and
where you play as like a weird monster thing in the middle. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sacred 2 is getting a remaster. I don't know if you remember this. I think the thing that people probably know this most is that the lady on the front of the box looks a lot like Angela from the Spawn comics. Lady. And I think that this was like kind of an action RPG type of thing, kind of a top-down thing, but like, sort of Diablo-ish that came out back in the day. I didn't realize it was getting a remaster. It looks kind of, it looks okay. I think there was like a niche kind of underground like fan base for it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Did you ever play Sacred 2?
I never played the Sacred games. So this is kind of one of those just kind of doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I get it. And then last up on the trailer parade, they put Rain World on Game Pass.
Oh.
And it came out with a specific trailer.
That did come out on Game Pass.
It's the one with the cat slug.
Yeah.
Slug cat.
I haven't played it, but it's there.
I heard a lot. I mean, I remember there's some kind of big expansion that just came out for it, I think. People really like this game, and I could never figure out why. I don't know. It just never really did anything for me. It's like a very hostile world that you have to kind of navigate, full of these kind of weird like monsters and animals and stuff. I don't know. The original came out like quite a ways back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, early 2000s, if not.
Let's see. 2017?
No, I'm thinking something else.
2017.
2017, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's our trailers. We wrap it up with a few other things. We got some new Game Pass additions.
Game Pass.
Citizen Sleeper 2, Lonely Mountain Snow Riders, MechWarrior 5 Clans, that I hear was really good from last year.
Yeah.
Orcs Must Die Death Trap, and then a big one is Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Which I actually just downloaded today. Haven't played yet, but I downloaded it.
I think that game looks, like when I played it, I thought it looked so ugly. Like it just it wasn't a very good looking game.
I haven't played a Assassin's Creed game in forever, so you know.
I don't know, maybe that'll do it. Aliens Fireteam Elite is coming out August 12th. That was the multiplayer online one. And then a game called Nine Kings coming out August 14th, which is kind of a top-down strategy, pixel-based kind of little kingdom thing. So, apparently Starfield PS5 release has been pushed back to 2026
again.
Yeah, this had happened before, but then apparently it's also supposed to coincide with another expansion.
Yeah.
for the life of me, I can't understand why there's not like, it seems like there's no fire under the ass of Bethesda to fix the first new original game they put out in years that is apparently just like nobody likes it or like it's just not doing anywhere near as well as their last few games. Like I feel like Elder Scrolls Online did better than Starfield, and it's been like 2 years or 3 years, and there have been more Fallout 76 expansions than there have been Starfield expansions. Like,
yes,
how is this not a fucking priority for you guys? And I say that because I want to like this game so badly. I just need you to fucking fix it.
I really wanted to like Starfield, but I gave up on it pretty quickly.
Like, there was a news story this week, John, that apparently like part of the game file said that they are now finally going to make a thing where you can just get in your ship and pick, I want to go to that planet, and then it just does a cutscene and you are on that planet instead of having to do the takeoff cutscene, go to space, do the cutscene to go to the other place, do the cutscene to land, and then get out of your ship. And it's like, well, yeah, man, like, I don't know how this wasn't a fucking thing. It makes me crazy. Let's see. Speaking of space games, Metroid Prime 4 is apparently going to be playable at Fan Expo Canada in just a couple of weeks. I'm still waiting for a goddamn release date, but people have been curious because Nintendo has done a number of different announcements and has not mentioned Metroid Prime 4 in any of them. Apparently, though, it will be playable in a few weeks. We're just looking for a full-on release date. It's still supposed to come out sometime this year. As part of this, they reiterated the 2025 release date for it, so we should still be getting it this year. Give me something to play on my Switch too, Nintendo. Dynasty Warriors Origins is having is apparently planning a large-scale DLC at some point this year. Tecmo Koei had a recent live stream where they talked about this. Apparently that new Dynasty Warriors was pretty good. I never got back to it. It seemed fine when I played it, but
I didn't play it.
I don't know. We'll see. John, this might interest you. Red Octane has reformed and is apparently doing some kind of new rhythm game.
Okay.
So for people who don't remember, Red Octane was the one who made the original Guitar Hero when it first came out on the PS2, and then there was a split where some of those people went off to create Harmonix, and then the Red Octane team stayed on to make the Rock Band stuff with Activision until they got looped into Neversoft, and then eventually they were disbanded, and a lot of the core team has come back together to do some new thing.
Okay.
Unclear. Not just a new Guitar Hero, but some new rhythm-based thing.
Yeah, could be fun.
Yeah.
It won't be Guitar Hero, that's for sure. Because I think we are well past the time of people wanting the accessories and
plastic instruments
and stuff like that.
Maybe, but I don't know. They put out a number of different rock bands that didn't have instruments, and it wasn't as good like when it was just using the buttons to do rhythm.
I mean, they did one, which was Rock Band Rivals, which was fun.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
I don't know. I think part of that, I don't know. I wonder, because I think, they've got the new, in Fortnite, they've got the, basically, Rock Band is in Fortnite.
That's the Harmonix team
yes.
made that. Yeah.
And I think it's actually, I don't know if they ever got all the way to the being compatible with the old instruments.
I don't think they did. I think they actually shut it down, or I don't know if it's still available in Fortnite.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's available in Fortnite, but I just don't know if they ever got around to that.
I just remember people being severely disappointed in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hard to say. Let's see. And then let's wrap it up with a few funny things. Apparently, in Japan, Resident Evil keeps posting pictures of the Duolingo owl as Mr. X, going around the Resident Evil universe. I don't know what this is all about. They also have one where it's Leon Kennedy trying to learn Spanish at the beginning of Resident Evil 4 via Duolingo. I don't know. I guess it's just this one picture where it's the Duolingo owl with the Mr. X hat on behind Leon Kennedy saying like, Leon, did you forget to do your like word practice today or something? Genuinely strange crossover. Duolingo L and Resident Evil.
Duolingo is all over the place.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Man, that bird died and then came back.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, like they did a whole story arc where like the Duolingo bird died, had a funeral, and then like was replaced. Then he came back.
Okay.
Like it was like a whole storyline through ads.
Okay.
Weird.
That is weird. Let's see. John, I assume you don't keep up with Evo, but did you see there was a bit of a viral thing? There's this guy in the Evo competition, Koji KOG, Kazuyuki Koji, who is known for like overreacting. And when he lost his match in King of Fighters at this, it has kind of sparked an internet meme, which is, I'm sure, the point of him just like dramatically wailing and gnashing and yelling and screaming and grabbing his head to the point where the guy that won was actually kind of like comforting him because he's just rocking back and forth in his seat like a crazy person and being an insano. Apparently this guy is known for this kind of theatrical stuff, but it was still pretty fun to watch. I don't know. I'd prefer to see people react heavily as opposed to just, I don't know. He's like running around on stage holding his head, and apparently people already started like just memeing on it. And
well, that's also why stuff. The guy who actually beat him is kind of like he's doing like the hand gesture motions, but like he's kind of laughing about it.
Yes,
because he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
He's like, this is, I don't know how I'm supposed to react.
Yep, pretty much. Let's see. We also got a new trailer for the this is pretty interesting, the Skyblivion mod for Skyrim, the Oblivion made in the Skyrim engine mod.
Yeah.
It's funny because I actually think that this, like, I went back to check on that Oblivion remaster because I heard they put out a bunch of patches for it. It still runs like total fucking ass. Like it runs choppy as shit on my PS5 Pro. And I'm like, I don't want that. So, hey, if you wanted to make this in the Skyrim engine, which I know is going to run well because it's goddamn 20 years old, like, I think I would rather play that. Also, the Skyrim engine isn't too bad looking. Like, you know, you throw some shaders and stuff on it, and it doesn't do too bad. I don't know. You ever have any interest in going back to Elder Scrolls?
Oh, good God, no.
No. Did you play Oblivion when it first came out?
No. Well, I think, I don't know if you remember, but I am not the hugest Elder Scrolls fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't tend to like them.
Okay, fair enough.
I did play them. Like, you know, I did play Oblivion and Skyrim, and I feel like there was what was the other one?
Well, 3 was Morrowind.
Yeah, I played Morrowind.
I never played Morrowind. It was gross.
Yeah.
Funguses and weirdos, and I was like, I don't like it. Gross.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it either. But like I mostly don't like the Bethesda's games.
Yeah.
Because they're an unplayable mess.
Uh-huh.
And in every situation, it's always like, oh, but you should go back and play now because modders have released all these mods and things that have fixed the game. It's like, no, the game should have been fixed and working by the developers when it first fucking came out.
Sure.
And it happens enough time that the company has released broken games that I'm just like, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, that's one way to go. Yeah, it's funny. In broad daylight, the game looks a lot worse, but like whenever they have these, like in the showcase video, these kind of like nighttime and the Oblivion realms and stuff, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look bad.
It looks pretty decent in there. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, an interesting little thing. Speaking of RPGs, this is an artist on Twitter named Arunko that created a little mock-up of a 2D sprite-based version of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I just finished that game, and so yeah, it was kind of cool to see one of these little mock-ups. I'm always a fan of when people do this stuff. So yeah, even though this one screenshot has some weird spoilers in it, but only, I feel like if you know a little bit about the game, like if you don't know anything, you wouldn't know what to look for. But Yeah, so go check it out. And that is the podcast. That's our podcast. John, is there anything you'd like to shout out to the folks?
No, I'm just, go subscribe to Patreon.
Go play FBC Firebreak.
No, just subscribe to the RageSelect Patreon and watch mine and Jeff's however long journey through Elden Ring.
And all the DLC.
Yeah.
I think people are still waiting for the Dark Souls 2 DLC, which
Never
is the only
happening.
one we didn't do.
Sorry.
Yeah, and with that, patreon.com/RageSelect. Go do it. Now I think I'm gonna. I don't even know what to do. The cough syrup is wearing off. I feel like my ability to speak is just breaking down. I gotta go. Everybody out. I gotta go.